right. Let's see if the levels are good. Yo, chat, what's up? Are the levels good? Can you hear me? Because, you know, there's always something new with Windows. Always something new with Windows. Always. This thing gets an update, changes settings. Y'all can hear me? Let me know. Hit 1 if you can hear me. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I mean, there's a little delay, but I'm kind of nervous right now. Ain't nobody hitting 1. I need somebody. Oh, boom, boom. Yeah. Loud and clear. Thank you, Socrates. We can hear you, no doubt. We can hear you, Pony. You know what I'm saying? No doubt. You know how it is, man. Listen. It's just insane how any little update and it changes settings and it's just man, it's just wonky, bro. Now I see why. Yeah, I mean, you know what? Let me keep my dumb ass mouth shut. Let me sip on some of that coffee. You know what I'm saying? But hey, you know, I know this is out of sync, you know. You remember, for those of you who've been rocking for a while, remember I always used to do a lot of lives, right? I still had the podcast, but then like anytime a big topic come out, I would just bust out with a live to talk about it. Man, I miss those days. I had so much time. I had more time back then. But I'm going to try to do that. But also, I think the videos also is a good answer, right? Because sometimes a live takes a good grip, right? Because a live will be like 40 minutes, an hour, and sometimes you just want to see a 10-minute video or whatever. So it's a good balance. But I think in this case, in this particular topic, it's got to be a live. You understand what I'm saying? Because it just simply can't be a 10-minute one-way conversation. Because I want feedback from y'all. Because I need to know, bro, when are you retiring from the Army? Marine Corps, from the Marines. From the Marines, my brother. 2026. In fact, I could tell you specifically February 2026. And it is over. In fact, what I'm going to do is when I have my retirement ceremony, I'm going to actually post it live. I'm going to stream it live. Hopefully, you know, God willing, with, you know, it'll be 2020. The ceremony will be in 2025. I'm going to put it, I'll have it on Facebook Live, but for this community, you know, because a Facebook Live is more for families and friends. But for this community, I'm going to do it live on YouTube. Grand opening, grand closing. You know what I'm saying? Am I going to be a full-time YouTuber? I don't know about that, man. I don't know. Like, I seen, you know, like, people in my family are asking me that. Because I will say one of the things that definitely held me back from YouTube being a full-time content creator and, like, actually making it a day-to-day planned type scenario, it was the military. Because, you know, being a Marine, that's the priority, you know. My oath to the institution, taking care of my Marines, doing the job, and at any moment notice, if shit pops off and I gotta go, you know, I can't say, oh man, but what about my YouTube, you know, career? So that's why I never went too hard on YouTube, not because I didn't want to or whatever, but things like Patreon or whatever, I didn't try to, or merch, I didn't try to do too much because at any moment, you know, my responsibility as a Marine, that takes precedence. And I drop it from a moment. I can't even give y'all guys a warning to be like, hey, you know, don't do this, don't do that, whatever. I gotta go. You know, it's not like I even have the opportunity to do that. So I never tried to push YouTube as a primary or like, you know, build up to a career or whatever, you know, or as a full-time content creator, as a job, whatever. So I always looked at it as a hobby. And I also looked at it as a privilege. And what I mean by privilege is a privilege that I'm able to connect with you guys. To me, that's huge. That's a big deal. I know a lot of YouTubers, even the big ones, don't see it that way. But I think it's remarkable, regardless of how many subscribers, whether it's 1 subscriber or 1 million subscribers, just the fact that you can create something and people are willing to put in the time to look at it, to comment it, good or bad. People, like, literally think about it, right? Like, who would have thought that? And I think that's just incredible that somebody could create content and people are willing to put the time in their own schedule to watch and listen. Like what you guys are doing now. Like what you guys are doing now is incredible. Like you guys are literally like you could do really anything in the world. Even if this is something you're doing while you're playing video game or while you're watching a movie. Even if it's what you're doing right now is just a side component to something else. Just the fact that you guys will take the time to actually listen to me live and interact, that's just incredible. That is absolutely phenomenal. So I always see that as a privilege to be able to do that, right? And that's how I treated just the channel and everything going, right? But I think after my career, I don't know. I think most likely I'll just go into the civilian job market, you know, because as soon as I retire from the Marine Corps, I immediately collect a pension. Technically, I don't have to work, especially like if I were to move back to North Carolina where I have my house. I don't have to work. I could just like do nothing, right? Because the cost of living in North Carolina is a lot cheaper, and my retirement is what would my retirement pension would be more than what some people would even earn working. Let's put it that way, right? But also, of course, it will be combined with VA, disability and all that stuff. But that's a different conversation, right? Maybe if I went to move back to North Carolina, probably so. But my wife, she wants me to retire. She wants us to retire in Florida. So that's the plan. She tells me, figure it out. I want to go to Florida. So I'm like, all right. And yeah, I just got it. And for those of you in America, yes, I know Florida right now is a goddamn mess. It's an absolute mess up in that place. Like, I don't know what the hell's going on in that place. Like, yo, DeSantis needs to go. Because, like, wow, he's really messing that place up. Like, there's a lot of issues in Florida, and I'm just not talking about woke. People are telling me, hey, like the insurance is getting out of hand out there. It's just a whole lot of stuff. Housing markets rapidly increasing. It's just craziness, bro. Patient fire, love to see it. That's why my wife wants hot weather, which I'm good with. Access to the beach, which I'm good with too. She wants still to have, we both want the Caribbean culture. Like, we want the Latino culture, right? I love California. California is awesome. But one is too far from family because all my family's in the East Coast. They're in New York, Florida, and Puerto Rico, which, again, is a benefit to live in Florida because it's like right in the middle or closer to Puerto Rico. But, it's easy access, right? California, what I love about California is, especially Southern California, it doesn't rain out in this place. And I know it sounds stupid, but like you can always plan for something and you'll be able to do it. Whether it's go to the park, go to an amusement park, go to a concert. Yo, it's crazy. And the temperature in Southern California is moderate. It doesn't get crazy hot. It gets hot, but not crazy, disgusting hot where you're not enjoying it anymore. It's like perfect almost all year round, man. It's incredible. Like, the weather's incredible. There's a lot to do, but it's not packed. It's not like New York where you're on top of each other. There's like space. It's getting expensive. It's expensive, no doubt, but there's still space. There's a lot to travel, and they have a lot more countrysides because, you could do city stuff, but at the same time, you could do country stuff like hiking, camping, all that stuff. Beaches all up the coast, like California, Southern California, like San Diego, Carlsbad, that portion. LA is getting a little crazier, right? That's more like the city part. But Southern California, like if I recommended to move to California, it would be like San Diego, Carlsbad. That's not LA. San Diego, Carlsbad is just a chill vibe. It's just the eateries, the wineries. There's just a lot of stuff here. But again, too far away from my family. And then the Latin culture here is more Mexican, South American based, but primarily Mexican based, right? My wife and I, nothing wrong with the Mexican culture. Beautiful, great food. Best tacos I ever ate in my damn life. The California burritos, my favorite. Oh my God. But we want the Caribbean culture. We want the Puerto Rican, Cuban, Dominican culture, the culture that we grew up in. And that's primarily in the East Coast. Now, they have a little bit of that here, but it's like you have to drive and whatever. While in Florida, that's all, pretty much common over there. And stuff like that. So that's why we're going back to Florida. I like the fact that it's also a tax-free state. So right now, even though, a little known thing, if you guys don't know, right? People in the military, wherever they signed, the state that they were living in, and they signed a contract, right, and joined the military, they still pay taxes to that state. So like for me, I grew up in New York City. So when I joined the military, even though I was leaving, living elsewhere, to this day, I am still a resident of New York. I still pay taxes to New York. Now, obviously, there's tax breaks and whatever. But ultimately, every month, I pay federal tax and I pay state tax, right? And at the end of the year, I have to pay city tax because that's New York City has its own tax system. A lot of people don't know that outside of New York. So New Yorkers in New York City, they're paying federal, state, and city tax out of their income. It's like living in Europe. Like half your check is gone. By the time you go through all three tax brackets, half your check is gone. So when people say like, oh, America's not like Europe, our tax is low, I'm like, who you talking to? Who? Maybe you live in Nantucket or Kentucky or Tennessee. You live in New York City, you getting them taxes, bro. You get taxed. Shit is crazy. Right? So I pay, listen, I'm gonna tell you, I pay the amount of taxes I pay in total between all three is like higher than what a lot of people earn, period. It's crazy, right? So I can't wait to like move to Florida, because then at that point I could change my residency and say I'm no longer a resident of New York. I am a resident of Florida, and now I won't be paying state or city tax and none of that. It's just federal, which means now I get more of my money. So that's one good part right over. But like some people mentioned in the chat, it's hot as hell, but that's what my wife really wants. The one thing that does bother me is the amount of rain. It rains every 15 minutes for like a little bit. That does get annoying, man. Especially I'm so used to California where you could go weeks, months with no rain. Like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go out, we're going to go to the beach, or we're going to go to amusement park, Great Adventures, or Six Flags, or we're going to go to this outdoor concert. And you don't have to worry about your plan getting rained out. I almost forgot what it is. Like, I don't know, because I've been living here in California since 2020. These 3 years, actually this past month, I hit 3 years in California. The last 3 years, I don't know what it feels like to have your plans ruined by rain anymore. Like, that's not a thing here for me, which is incredible, right? So now I'm going to go back to that in Florida, and that's going to piss me off. Like, if I have a plan on a Saturday and it starts raining like a monsoon, I'm going to be mad. I don't even have umbrellas like that. Oh man, that's gonna be, shout out to Charles Hawk. He says facts. I'm from SoCal. I can go surfing and hiking in one day. Facts, man. Like, and I see a lot of people surf out here. It's just a great outdoor neighborhood. The wineries, the restaurants. It's just an awesome vibe, man. It's a real awesome vibe. BAH. Oh, what you know about that BAH, Lewis? What you know about that BAH? What you know about that BH, Lewis? You know what I'm saying? My BH is 4,200. One of these days, I'm gonna talk about the military to you guys, and I'm not talking about secret squirrel shit, right? I'm just talking about basic things that a lot of people, especially like, let me put it this way: if you guys ever have questions, ever had questions about the military, of course, you guys could always talk to me about it, right? Because and I talk to a lot of guys that has, the military has good and bad and stuff like that. No, wait a minute, where's that thing at? Where we at right now? Let's see who we got in here in the chat. Who's here? Who here we chatting, right? We got Brian Rios. What's up? Azaziza. Oh snap! He said, "Is this Mass Effect?" Kratos 99, X Hawk, Lionel B. What's going on, my brother, man? Kratos. We got Lewis. Laugh out loud is Lewis up in here. Phaedrus, Socrates, loud and clear. Freddie 214, True Virgil, the Ruham, my brother. What's going on? We got Krishan Kumar. Krishan? Is it Christian or Krishan? Kumar. Harold and Kumar. Go to White Castle. Lionel B. We got Mustang Gamer. Is that Mustang Gamer? Or what you know about that Mustang, bro? Who we go? We got Franco Tech. Khalid. What's up? Mary Wilcox. Welcome back, Mary. Twitter is a cesspool. Yes, it is, and I love it. I dive in. I'm all in. I cannonball into that. I'm all about the adversity and the craziness. Brian East, what's up? That's right, Freddie. Your grand opening, grand closing. What else we got up in here? Danny Stab, what's up? Let's see. Mary Wilkes, very nice, very nice. Hang in there. Only a few more years. That's it. Now, to let you guys know, I could have retired 7 years ago, right? Because in the military, I mean, there's exceptions. There's like medical retirement. There's terror program. But basically, on a basic level, retirement is usually once you hit 20 years. That's on average. There's exceptions, but for the most part, 20 years. And then you can do more, right? For enlisted, and what I mean by enlisted is like people who are like the master sergeant, sergeant major. Me, I'm a master gunnery sergeant, first sergeants, whatever. The enlisted side, we can do up to 30. Anyone over 30 is an exception. Usually that's reserved for like the sergeants majors, right? When they try to get slated for a specific billet, right? Officers, you know, colonels and beyond, they get to do 40 years, right? But 20 years, you're eligible to retire. You could put in your retirement 20 years. Me currently, I'm beyond 20 years, right? Simply because I love my job. I absolutely love it. Reason why I'm retiring in 2026 because that, you know, that's all I can do. Here we go. Who else we got? Team Ambush. We got Advocate 1818. Asmodeus, Neil Agosto, Swag Bag. We got Retro Gaming Addict. Xbox mad right now. Yeah, they be making stuff up, man. It's crazy. That's another reason why I did this live. Like, there's just too much lies. Like, I just can't do it. We got Nix up in here. Who else we got? Who cares? Not me. He says, thank you for your sacrifice in doing these YouTube videos and 60 FS sessions when you could be spending all your time with family. I thank you spending time with us. Hey, well, my mic's not here right now, so that's probably why. Gamer of Light. Let's see. Mighty Gooey, GUI 87. Mighty Gooey 87. J-Ro, what's up? Sergeant, what's good? E-Nate. Let's see who we got. Charles Hawk, what's up? Hood Rich. Housing insurance companies are leaving Florida. Yes, I'm hearing that. That, you know, like, that and it's like, all right, so what do you do, right? Do I move to Florida and not buy a house? But then the problem is I'm not the age. Now I'm doing it, but that's only because it's temporary. But the place I want to live long term, I'm not renting. I don't want my abode, my accommodations to be in the hands and the control of another person where they dictate how much I have to pay them a month to live. Like, nah, I'm not doing that. You know? It's crazy, bro. Shit is crazy. This world is, you would think things will get better, makes more sense for the people so we could try to be more successful. It's just, oh man, this is crazy. Jeff B Gaming, what's going on? Silver Raven Moon, moved to Thailand, much better than Florida. Yo, listen, if I could convince my wife, I would be in the Dominican Republic. I would be in Thailand, the Philippines. Yo, you know, my money will definitely go far out there. Ground Zero, what's side, motherfucker? Why? Oh shit, Mario Heat. Team Ambush. Who else we got? Come to Sydney and Melbourne and Brisbane for a while when retired. All right, listen. Australia is the devil's playground. You guys literally live in hard mode. You all have the most dangerous animals literally on that island. Like, every animal is out to get you. I can't. I'm too much of a punk. Like, you Australians, you got way too much courage. You guys live in hard mode, like death mode. It's crazy. That is the devil's backyard in there. Like, it's like Survivor every day of your life. It is crazy. I can't do it. You guys face danger like if it's nothing. Like, I wouldn't make it. I wouldn't last a day in Australia. I'll be honest. I couldn't do it. Especially the spiders. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I can't do spiders. I'm not Starship Troopers. I'm a Marine. We don't fight insects. We fight people. Not insects. Insects, sorry. I'm going AWOL. I'm going UA. You ain't making me fight no spider. I'll hit the nuke button. Enter the code. Nuke the planet. Just end it all. We're not doing this. Let's see. As a Puerto Rican, I hate California. I'll take Texas, Florida, hell, even Tennessee and Kentucky over California. Oh, snap. He said, as a Puerto Rican, I can't stand. Why do you like California? I know it's expensive. The burritos are humongous. Yes. Pause. No, for real, that California burrito, it's kind of like, the best tacos and burritos are out here. Now, I don't know about Texas because I heard Tex-Mex is delicious too. So we'll exclude Texas in the conversation. But yeah, like I have burritos from Mexicans in New York, but it's not the same as when I got out here. It's just kind of like eating pizza in California from Italians. They just don't match New York. I don't know what it is. It's just weird, right? Who else we got up in here? Charles Hawk. Oh, he became a member. Thank you. I appreciate it, man. Stick around. We'll all improve. You know what I'm saying? We'll always add stuff to it. Don't worry about it. You're going to see the growth of the channel. Thank you so much for rocking through. Mustang Gamer says Texas is better. Let's see. Don't Texas get like crazy hot? Like melt the flesh off your skin? Like melt the flesh off the bone hot out there? I heard it gets hot as... Ooh. Like, hey, yo. Jeffy Gates, it rains every afternoon like clockwork. Yes. The rain gets surgical, though. I walked down 4 blocks where it was pouring only on 1 block. Yo, that's crazy. I seen that, too. People be telling me that. Let's see. We got Dribble. Dribble Piss. Dribble Piss? Wow. New UK price drop. PS flying off the shelves. I could imagine, man. Like, that's just weird. So, like, did Sony drop the price to boost up sales? Are they fine? And, like, when you think about it, they finally dropping the price almost 3 years. Like, normally we would have had a price drop last year. They held the line for a long time, Are they trying to clear off shelves? I don't think, let me say this. I don't think the Slim is incoming this year. I'm going to tell you why. Not because I don't think they are not making a Slim, but I think if they were to make a Slim, they would have done it with the Spider-Man bundle. You know what I mean? They would have made the PS5 custom plates for current PS5 owners, but for the new PS5 owners, they would have released the Slim. Does that make sense? Because I don't see them releasing the Spider-Man 2, the actual custom console, the actual console with the plates already put together, and then a month later in November, hey, we got the PS5 Slim. People are going to be like, well, damn, I would have that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think the Slim's coming this year. I think it's coming next year. I think they might do what they did last gen. The Slim and the Pro came out the same year, right? If I remember correctly, or no? Yeah, it came out the same year, 2016. So I think they're gonna do the same thing. I think you'll get a $400 Slim and a $500 Pro. And by that point, all stock is gone. And then I think the Slim legitimately will be this detachable. No, well, I'm not going to say detachable because that's the wrong way to explain it. Attachable hard drive. Meaning you'll buy the Slim, but if you still want a disk drive, then you will buy a disk drive where you can attach it, insert it. So it's not detachable, meaning it already comes in it and then you pull it out. There's no point in putting out the disk drive if it comes, So I could see that. What else we got up in here? Excuse me. Thrifty PS Gamer. I was actually raised Castle Air Force Base. Where's that at? Castle Air Force Base. Who else we got? Boycott Activity. Captain Ply. Okay, there is no Slim or PS5 Pro. It's not needed. I agree it's not needed, but I don't know what Sony's ultimate goal is at this point. Caribbean seafood is the best, you hater, and Puerto Rican Christmas food. Oh, Puerto Rican, yeah. Caribbean food is, oh my God. Arroz con gandules, un pernil. Oh, during Thanksgiving, tembleque, flan. Oh, if you understood the words I said, then you know. If you know, you know. Ooh, en un pollo guisado. Oh my God. Oh, my mom. Oh, God rest her soul. Her pollo guisado. Literally, you could start a war over it. That recipe died with her. Oh my God, her pollo guisado is just, it's bringing a tear to my eye just thinking about it. Oh God bless that woman. Let's see. Q Light is a WL. I think the way it sounds is described, I think it's a L. It's a seafood. Yeah, Weezer. Yeah, Weezer. Yeah, seafood. Well, I can't. Not knocking for those who like it. I just can't do it. I think Q Light's an L. If the only thing it does is stream, right? And or at the very least, it should have an internal, internal LTE, 5G capability. Something. It can't just be Wi-Fi, right? Because then, like, think about it, and I mentioned this, right? You got picture you carrying this big ass Q Light. When you leave your house, it's useless until you connect to another Wi-Fi source. So in between traveling from point A to point B, unless you're in a car that has Wi-Fi, but then if you're driving a car, it doesn't matter because you're driving. Or if you're on a bus, you just can't do nothing with it until you hit another destination. And the destination you hit, if their Wi-Fi sucks, you still can't use it. You see what I'm saying? It's just weird. You know what I'm saying? Shout out, what's up, Dribble Piss? He says, game over. Flip. That was a song. Woo, 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 woo. Most Sony Hardware is now. No, Aaron, stop the cap. Y'all hurting yourselves. Y'all gotta live in reality. PlayStation hardware. PlayStation overall banging. Generations of generation. I think the big L was the 3. The PS3 was that was Sony's. Sometimes you gotta learn life, and Sony definitely learned life during the PS3 era, right? But because of that, they learn what not to do, right? Microsoft, though, them motherfuckers don't learn, bro. Can you get Wi-Fi from your phone? Well, you can do hotspot, right? You can do a hotspot. So now you got your phone, you activate it, and yeah, you can do a hotspot, right? But how consistent is your phone over a hotspot as a hotspot traveling? Like, phones are very, at least phones, they're very up and down. Like every destination you travel to, your signal gets weaker or stronger. I don't think you have a good experience over a hotspot on your phone. JFK TV, what's going on? Mad Joe up in here. Even Aaron up in here. You know what I'm saying? He's always crying about Xbox, but that ain't my fault. Y'all need to, listen, Aaron, you need to abandon ship. At least go PC. If you're gonna rock Xbox, do it on a PC, man, because that console is trash, bro. Aaron, we need to have a heart-to-heart. That shit's trash. The console's trash, bro. Like, it's dying, bro. Motherfuckers, Microsoft can't sell this shit. Just drop that money on that PC. Game Pass is on there. Hell, they make more PC exclusives for Game Pass than they do their own console, bro. Drop that console bullshit. That shit, it's over, Aaron. From man to man, bro. From one man to another man. It's over, bro. That shit is dead. Xbox consoles is, bro. Listen, I have empathy for you guys. I know I talk shit, but the humanity in me is letting you know, like, bro, like, you gotta give it up, bro. Like, just, it's not worth it. Listen, PC, you're still playing, bro. Let me put it to you this way: you're still playing Xbox games, and you can play them at 60 FPS. They don't play that bullshit of it's a creative decision. Now, come on, you ain't gotta deal with that. Aaron, come here, brother, come here. Talk to me. Let me. Yeah, right now, I'm holding your shoulder, brother, man. Just drop that console nonsense from Xbox. They don't make good consoles, right? They don't know what they're doing. People really don't buy them, right? You get the PC, you get all the Xbox games, right? Microsoft first party, but you actually could play them at 60 FPS. They don't jerk you over, right? And you can drop the expensive tier of Game Pass or whatever, because online's free on PC. So listen, bro. Just drop the console, Aaron. Just give it up. You can still like Xbox. Just don't like Xbox consoles, because them things is trash, bro. It's just not worth the effort. Like, think about it, man. You can't even think about it. You can't even get games because of the Series S, bro. The developers like, yo, we're gonna hold this off for like 6 months, whatever. You don't deal with that on PC. No one ever says PC's holding us back. Brother, man, just give up the console. Just rock Game Pass. Do your Game Pass thing on PC, man. That console shit on Xbox, that shit don't work. They're done, bro. They don't know what they're doing, man. That's the way to go, man. Xbox, PC, that's if you're gonna get anything good out of it, it's gonna be on PC. But that console, Aaron, like, come on, man. Like, Ain't nobody buying that shit. Ain't nobody about that shit, man. You getting that shit $100 on Facebook Marketplace. Everybody trying to get rid of that shit. At this point, it's gonna get to the point people are gonna give you $100, right? And then you gonna say, no, I'll give you $200 to not ever advertise that shit to me. Like, bro, don't worry about it. The Xbox console. Listen, if you don't think Microsoft is trying to figure out a way to get that assets out of the console market, man, I don't know what to tell you. Them dudes is hurting, right? But anyway, what's going on, right? It's crazy, man. Listen, Xbox will survive on PC. Don't worry about it. Xbox will always be around on PC and Samsung TVs, right? The console, it's just not working, bro. What else we got right here? All right. You know what I'm saying? Aaron, look, you're looking like that guy right there, bro. You're looking like that guy, man. Don't do that, bro. Don't do that. Like, let it go. Just be like, you know what? You know, I mean, do you really want to play Starfield at 30 FPS? Aaron, come on, Aaron. Let's see it. Come on, Aaron, talk to me. I want to hear your point. Do you want to be stuck playing Starfield at 30 FPS? Is that really a goal for you? Aaron? Go ahead. I want to hear you say yes. I'm all about playing Starfield at 30 FPS because that's how life. You about that life. Go ahead. Let me know. Is that really what you want? You really feel so crazy? Are you gonna admit that you purposely are going to decide to play Starfield at 30 FPS? Are you that big on Xbox that you are down to that? You know you're not, brother, man. Stop lying. You know the thought of playing Starfield at 30 FPS makes you cringe. You know you cringing right now. You know it's cringe. You should feel illegal to say those words, especially over the bullshit hype we got. Yo, you got sampler feedback and VRS tier 5 and full RDNA 2. Brother man, Aaron, listen, brother man, talk to me, Aaron. You got full RDNA 2. I only got RDNA 1.5. Right? That's it. 1.5, and Sony figured out a way for their first party to be at 60 frames, options. So come on, man. Aaron, you cannot possibly, with all the capping, you possibly cannot convince me that you are cool when Starfield comes out, that you're going to play at 30 FPS, and that's it. You have no choice otherwise. You cannot tell me that makes you happy. You know what I'm saying? You cannot tell me. Aaron, I know you're fuming. I know right now you're like, this is so cringe. Dealer told me 40% GPU performance. Got machine learning. What the hell is the damn box learning? It ain't learning shit. It ain't learning a goddamn thing. It sure as hell's not learning how to run games at 60 FPS. That shit got left back. In the United States, George Bush created a program, No Child Left Behind, but he didn't create no console left behind. Boy, Xbox has been left behind. Like, hey, yo. Lots of consoles being left behind, bro. I know you cringing. I know you are cringing at the thought of playing Starfield at 30 FPS. You ain't playing Starfield on Xbox console. No, you're not. You are not doing it, Aaron. You are not. You're lying saying you're playing this on console. You are lying. All you Xbox dudes are liars. I firmly believe that all you Xbox dudes actually play Xbox on PC unless you're doing like a live stream or something. That shit is off daily until you do a live stream or some type of community event. Then you'll be like, you type it off. Ain't no way y'all be playing that thing. There's just no way. Ain't no way y'all playing that thing. That thing's the best. That thing, you guys are playing on PC at the frame rates that you want, pretending that your consoles do it. Stop lying. Come on now. Be honest. Stop on it. All right? Stop clapping your hands at me. I'm about to get pissed. You're getting pissed at me? Who you talking to? Somebody? Why are you getting mad at me? I didn't sell you the shit. Listen, I did not tell you that it was going to be a monster that eats breakfast. I said no such things. Why are you mad at me for? Damn. Hell, if you would have listened to me, you would have known that the Series S would have been a problem. Damn, this guy mad at me for? You listen, I ain't tell you to put your $500 on that. Damn. If anything, you would listen to me, you would have saved $500. You know, I'm your only friend in these YouTube streets. What are we doing here? Listen. Look at, you know, and speaking of which, let me tell you something, Xbox community. We're about to have a problem here. Listen, we're gonna have a problem here. There's gonna be a dilemma. I have the intestinal fortitude to withstand a lot of BS in this community, right? Make fun of my forehead, you know what I'm saying? Don't bother me. Y'all can say I look like Kermit the Frog. It's actually pretty funny, right? Hell, some of y'all say, let me see, where's that? Some of you are saying that my hairline, give me a second. Some of you are saying that my hairline, where the hell? Okay. Some of y'all are saying that my hairline is looking like a GTA character. All right. My hairline looking like a GTA remastered character. Okay. All right. Y'all slick with that one. Looking like a GTA remastered character. Cool. I can take it. You ain't bother me. You know what I'm saying? Y'all slick. Y'all motherfuckers are evil. But you know what? That shit's funny. Y'all motherfuckers saying I got the same barber, you know, from Los Santos. That my haircuts, I be going to Los Santos to be getting my haircuts. Okay. All right. Touche, motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? That's some funny shit, you know, that my haircut is remastered by Rockstar. All right. All right. All right. I'm cool with that. I'm cool. Look like the female Jada Kids. All right. Cool. I look like a remastered Rockstar character. All right. All right. You know, I look like Kermit the Frog. Got it. All that shit. I can take all that. But where I draw the line, where the line on the sand gets drawn, where you don't cross this line. There's a line you cannot cross, right? You said my haircut's remastered by Rockstar is a bar. Next level disrespect. Yo, Jeff, for real, bro, the audacity of these cats saying I get my haircut in Los Santos, not Los Angeles. Yo, these cats are wild. All right. No. All right. Some funny shit, right? These dudes are real. They got, you know, they got real content, you know, coming out their mouth. But cool. But where I draw the line, you know, is where the line gets crossed is where you start messing with my family. Nope. My man said 4K hairline. Oh, snap. Nope. That's where I open the gates of hell. That's where I go, you know, Wyatt Earp on a mofo. Like this. I'm gonna show y'all something. I'm gonna call my brother. We're gonna have a talk, but this is a crisis. Now you guys are wondering, what am I talking about? Can't believe y'all motherfuckers say I got my hairline from Los Santos. The audacity, bro. That shit is wild. Y'all wild for that one. It's funny as hell though. But this is where we need to talk. What's going on here? What are we doing here? Hey, yo, bro. Little bro, we need to talk. Pick up the phone. Now, he has me blocked and shit. He has me blocked until Thanksgiving. Can't even talk to my nephew. All right. Okay. Look at this. Look at this. Hey, I want y'all to listen. Oh, sorry, I muted myself. Hey, let me know if you don't hear this, but You should be able to hear it.
What's up, everybody? Dog 1985. There's levels to this, man. I can't take this no more, man. The pain just hurts too much, man. Somebody said they saw you. They said that on your box you promised 60 FPS. I don't wanna know the truth. But why is Starfield's 30 frames? I don't wanna know. If you playing me, Xbox keep it on the low.
I swear to God, Xbox community, y'all, you know what? I'm gonna give you guys the opportunity to fix this. Fix this. Get my brother back. Y'all stressing up Xbox. You better get some goddamn games. Y'all better get some goddamn games at 60 FPS. Y'all better fix this. Now listen. This is a reflection on me. Like this doesn't work. Y'all making fun of him. You're making fun of me. I'm tied to this. This is a bond here. So this is not something. This is not like, you know, Cole Eastwood doing some stupid shit, or we Bleed Green podcast doing some craziness. I can laugh at that. I can't laugh at this. This is a problem. This is our family name. Like, bro, something's wrong here. Xbox, yeah, Xbox community, you're playing with fire, bro.
Cause my heart can't take it anymore. And if you lying, please don't let it show. Oh baby, I don't wanna know. Oh, Xbox.
Nah, man, yo, he try to hit the notes like Mariah Carey. Oh my God, yo, Xbox community, you gone too far. You gone too far. Xbox community, I swear to God, my man try to hit notes like Mariah. You got my brother out here sounding like Ja Rule on lean. Listen. Xbox, y'all gonna pay for this. Y'all pay. You know what I'm saying? Xbox community, you took it. You went there. You're gonna bring out the joke in me. I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna let you know. You know what? I'm gonna tell you that right now. I subscribe to Twitter Blue. Yep, I got a check mark. Cause now my shit's monetized. You think I was bad before? Oh, I'm a pimp all you Xbox stands out. And I know you're gonna come to my timeline because you can't help it. Cause it's like moths to the flame. Boy, I bring that heat, y'all just come. I'm gonna make money off of your punk ass. For this, y'all gonna pay. You're gonna pay dearly. I'm a pimp y'all. All of y'all Xbox dudes, y'all getting pimped on my timeline. No, when you come to my timeline complaining and crying, I'm making money off you, bro. I'm gonna get them hits. This is the last straw. What are we doing here?
I think about it and I know the truth. You really don't care about console gamers. I don't even need to ask you. I literally saw it for myself. How you gonna promote Starfield playing on a TV when you can't even give me 60? And I paid the 500, don't you see?
And I'm gonna blame Smooth for this too. Oh, there's gonna be some accountability. There's gonna be some accountability. Accountability court is coming. You went psychological. Look. Oh my God. Look at my brother right now. God damn, bro. This dude's in pain, bro. And I told them, bro, don't play your Xbox, but don't jump in Kool-Aid, bro. Just enjoy it for what it is. Trust me, over time, you're gonna get stressed out, bro. It's just, oh man, bro. I swear to God, Xbox community, you're gonna pay for this. I'm telling you, I'm gonna go on overdrive on Twitter. I'm gonna drive y'all mad.
I just want to use the Series X's abilities. Baby, talk to better than me. I wanna fall asleep. All I see in my comment sections are ponies. And I wanna run away. Maybe get a PC one day. But there's so much I can't take. Yo, I don't want to know all your whereabouts or how you moving, Phil. I know when you in the house or when you moving. I see you playing, but you ain't complaining about all the BS that we are obtaining. Come on, Phil, you got to do a lot better. Give us something. Give us a freaking sweater with an Xbox on it that says 60 frames because this generation is just not the same and everybody keeps complaining about the mainframe and everything in the box just doesn't maintain. You lied. Tricked our brains. I'm just going insane. I don't know what to do. Sometimes I think about what the world would be like if Redfield had a patch and we would do what we could do. I don't want to know if
We got Metro Knight. Help your boy, P-Rock. With a super chat. And Metro Knight with another super chat. He said, Kiss Move in the studio now. Song on SoundCloud, YouTube tomorrow. This is personal. All right? Okay.
Xbox is playing me. Just keep it on the low. Cause my heart can't take it anymore. Oh. What are we gonna do? I saw Kid Smooth playing Spider-Man 2. Damn, we.
Hey, he said, I saw Kid Smooth playing Spider-Man 2. What are we gonna do? I ain't be bothering, bro. Oh, Shay said, what we gonna do? I saw Kid Smooth playing Spider-Man 2. Oh, shit. That shit is bars right there. Now I gotta admit, that's bars right there. That's bars. He's spitting bars right there. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. My man said, what we're gonna do? I saw Kid Smooth playing Spider-Man 2. Oh, yo, that's the line. That's the line of the year, bro. Yo. Oh, boy. You know what, bro? I'm gonna take your hot line. I'm gonna turn it into a hot song. Hey, yo, that shit.
We hurt. Oh, baby.
Are you looking for a way to stay connected to your
Yo, this is wild. Hey, listen. My family. Be easy on my bro. It's not his fault. Listen, it's not his fault. If you actually look at his gamer tag, that dude plays games. Of course, obviously, because he never really was an Xbox gamer. He never really owned it. So he literally had like at least, you know, the few games Xbox OG has, 360, Xbox One, he's playing it all. So there is one thing. There's few people in the Xbox community that actually plays games. He is one of them. No cap. You look at his gamer tag, he is gaining up there very quickly, right? He's gonna pass a lot of dudes who's been Xbox for years, since the 360 at a minimum. and he's gonna lap them. Watch. By the end of this gen, he'll lap most of those Xbox guys that talk a lot of trash. So he does play games right now. There's just no doubt about it. So go easy on my bro. It's not his fault. You understand what I'm saying? He's not the bad guy. He's not. He was just lied to. You know? And he is a man who expects integrity from people. So please forgive him. He just hold the line with me, all right? I'm going to get him back. I'm going to find a way to bring him to the light. Somehow, some way, I'm going to get him to the light. You know? He's just hanging out with the wrong crowd. He's hanging out with the ops. You know? I got to get him home. I got to get him back home. He's going through it. He's going through that phase where he's trying to find himself. You know, them teenage years. You know what I'm saying? All right? So, we're going to get him there. All right? So, please go easy on him. You know what I'm saying? Like, subscribe. Try to coach him. He'll eventually see the light. Okay? Now, let's talk about, hit the like button while you're here. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for rocking through. What are we going to do? Caught Kid Smooth playing Spider-Man 2. Hey, yo. He's experimenting. Hey, whoa, pause. Oh, bad. You know, but we're going to talk about something, right? Let's talk about the art of misinformation. Because there's people who do it and pretend they don't do it. And they're real good at it without actually saying it. So you can never catch them. The only way you know is if you're smart enough to understand the art of misinformation and how it's played. Because you can present a piece of information and absolutely keep it simple, where it doesn't actually say a statement directly, but indirectly, with other factors that are not being spoken, it will lead to a narrative, and you know that's going to happen. But if somebody tries to call you out on it, you'll be like, I didn't say that. And it's true, they didn't say it. All right? Let me start with the initial delusion. Let me look for something. Hold on. Dame un momento, loco. Let me show y'all something. Let me show you the level of insanity that we got going on here. I gotta show you the level of insanity. It's. Coño, where you at? Where you at? Okay, here we go. Look at this right here. Look at this craziness right here. You see this craziness? Here it is. It's crazy to think that a company like PlayStation that shipped 40 million PS5 consoles is struggling. And yet, here we are. For months, we've been witnessing the beginning of their end. Some claim PlayStation will die in 10 years. I will say it happened sooner. Like, what is he talking about? Like, PlayStation struggling. But he's not the only one. He's not the only one. Right? Because there's people using this narrative in a smarter way, right? I'll show you another example. Give me a second. This is, you recognize this? King David. Shout out to King David. Him and his crew, Iron Lords Podcast. If you're a big Xbox dudes and all that stuff, watch the podcast. Great content. You know, they're really good. They're really good. And I wish him many blessings, winning success, right? And King David's funny. You know, he's a good dude. He's a good dude. He's funny as hell. But he's slick. He's real slick. He's a smart dude. He's a smart one. He real smart. Because he says a lot without having to say anything. Dude is smart. David, I see you, bro. I see what you did. Well played. Well played, right? So right here in this tweet says, it has begun. When I say it, believe it, know it to have been seen. Just saying. Until next time. So he's showing Sony's earnings call. You know, I guess it went down like $6, which is not uncommon for any company, right? And then he shows this chart where he shows this steep drop, right? He shows a visual presentation. Now, let's unpack what he said. All he said was, hey, Sony stock dropped a bit. And he called it. That's it. He didn't say anything else. Nothing else. He didn't say any other words. So words like PlayStation, video games, Xbox, consoles, gamepad, nothing. He didn't even say the word. So all he's showing is just stock, right? But this is where I was telling y'all, you can say something and know if people are going to get information from it more than what you spoke, and that's what you really want. And why am I talking about? Well, David, I know a podcast. He talks a lot of trash about PlayStation, right? Specifically, right? Because you don't hear him talk a lot about Sony TVs and cameras. Like, he doesn't really talk much about that, right? Or Sony lenses and movies. You know, he's not really into, you don't really hear that much, but you do hear him, go at PlayStation a lot, right? So, based on his personality, if you see this, you're going to somehow tie it to PlayStation, even though he didn't say it. He specifically did not say this is because of PlayStation. But people are going to infer that, and he knows that's what's going to happen. And it did. Let me scroll down. Right here, Italian Clowns. He says, and this is a result of them treating the console space as if it was 10 years ago. They are now future-proofing their business. They fight tooth and nail to bring the dinosaur back. So, Italian Clowns are saying that this, right here, that you see, right? Yeah, or no, this way. This right here is because of PlayStation. Right? That's because of PlayStation. How? Somebody help me out here. Y'all reading that? PlayStation achieves new record-breaking Q1 sales. How does breaking records result in a bad thing? Let's look at the comparing. Now, for those of you that don't know, right? Microsoft and Sony, they have fiscal calendars. They're different. But Q4 for Microsoft and Q1 for PlayStation or Sony is the same quarter. They just start and end differently. Okay? So this is the same months. Don't let the Q confuse you. They just have different calendars for fiscal accountability. But these are comparing the same quarter. Look at the numbers PlayStation is doing. Hardware, 35%. And this is money and profit, like revenue. Hardware, 35%. Network services, up 17% revenue. And total gaming revenue, up 33%. Meanwhile, on the Xbox side, Xbox hardware, once again, down, negative 13%. And that number's been going down every single quarter. Content and services, only up 5%. Total gaming revenue, only up 1%. 1%. Total gaming revenue, up 1%. If Sony posted those numbers, you will not believe how many people will be getting fired right now. If those numbers, Xbox post, was on the bottom for PlayStation, board members will be firing mad people across the board. Lots of people will be getting fired across the board. Look at these numbers. So now let's go back to Italian Clown's statement. And this is a result of them treating console space as if it was 10 years ago. They're not like, bro, Carlo, bro, papa. Somebody show him this. Carlos, look at the numbers. Tu no ve, you don't see. The bottom right here is good. That's good. That's very good. Especially record breaking. This is the problem right here. This is the problem. The top part. So if you really feel if someone has a strategy, right, that is hurting their business, you need to have that conversation with Xbox, not PlayStation. You need to really look at Xbox strategy because these are the results. And every quarter, they've been pushing bad numbers. This is like the third quarter in a row, the numbers are trash. So if you're really thinking this is the result, you need to look at Xbox and be like, listen, Xbox, your numbers are trash. Are you really actually doing what you're claiming to do? You know what I'm saying? Again, look at this. PlayStation achieves new record-breaking quarter one numbers, while Microsoft can't even break Xbox One numbers. You can't even compete with your own terrible product. And you out here saying this is a result of PlayStation having back? Yo, Carlo, bro. Like, what are we doing here? Like, Carlos, what are you actually reading or saying? Or are you part of that little, paid Microsoft group that gets paid just to say anything? And hopefully it trends. Like, what data did you use to make this statement? Because all David did was to show overall Sony stuff. You do realize Sony does think more than gaming, right? They got the movie studios, they got their lens studios, they got a bank, TVs, electronics. Those are the areas that are probably hurting, right? Those are the areas that actually have the issues. Not PlayStation. PlayStation is just straight beasting. Like, this brand is killing it, bro. They're setting records. Like, Sony is trying to sell 25 million consoles. Do you understand in 1 year? Do you understand what that number is? 25 million? They are trying to sell in 1 year what Microsoft can't even do in an entire lifetime for this gen. At this point, Microsoft only has about 22 million. Now, this VG charts, they're off, whatever. But if they're anywhere close to these numbers, Sony can easily lap Xbox with just 1 year of sales. 1 year of sales on its own laps an entire gen of Xbox Series console. That shit is wild, right? Now, of course, Xbox is going to say you don't need to buy a console, blah, 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 blah. We understand the marketing pitch. We're not talking about marketing pitch here. What we're talking about is reality. How many people are saying, you know what? I'm not going to buy an Xbox console because I'm going to get an app on my TV. Hardly anyone's doing that. People aren't doing that. They're not doing that. No one's changing from console to app, cloud streaming. That's not happening. There is no big rush of transfer of people going over and over. Not happening. That's not what's happening. People are just simply not interested in Xbox, right? And the numbers you do got on Xbox or PC is because you already have PC gamers on there already. Like, it's already given to them. And they play on PC. So you just put the games on something they were already using, which was Steam. That makes sense, right? But you didn't gain new Xbox gamers. You just sold to more, right? But your console gamers, that's where your core audience is at. Because that audience is the one that plays online via your console. They buy third-party games via the console. Because third-party games gets bought on Steam. That has nothing to do with Xbox. That has nothing to do with Microsoft. In terms of the storefront. That is all Valve. Valve gets all the money and all the credit and all the achievements, Steam achievements, library. That's all locked behind Steam. If you play third party on Xbox, then that means you're doing it on a console or their cloud service, whatever. Right? But the problem is, ain't nobody really buying that console. Nobody really wants it. No one's really interested. Right? But there's this bizarre world where you got this weird situation where people are just making up stuff and it doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't. I don't get it. Oh shit, Jada. Oh, the antagonizer in chief is coming in. All right, dog. You. Oh snap, yo. Hey, listen. Uh oh. Here we go. Here we go. Hey, JW, jump in now. Oh, here we go. Oh boy, hold on. Let me put my headset on.
Grand opening, grand closing.
Hold on. Let me do the
What's
headset.
up, my brother P Rock? Can you hear me?
Hold on, no, let me just switch it to my headset now.
Can you hear me, P Rock?
Oh, I can hear you, but it's not coming through my headset. So hold on. Give me one momento.
No problem.
Okay, why? All right, let me switch this to.
What's good, chat? Hope y'all doing good.
All right, say something.
I'm here.
Oh, all right, good. So there we go.
Okay, hold on. I'm just coming in. I need somebody to drop $100 in the chat right now. Come on.
No, come on, nah. You know what I'm saying? Yo, times is hard, bro. Times is hard, man. Oh shit. Oh shit! Oh man, see, you know what I'm saying? This is some bullshit, man. You got these rich dudes. You guys got all the power, bro. This is crazy. You like Donald Trump. Oh, I need help with my court case. I'm like, bitch, you a billionaire. Fuck me, man. How Donald Trump got a GoFundMe? Like what? Like, yo, it's crazy, man. Shout out to Ghost in the Garage Gaming, man. Thank you so much, man. He said, "What's up, P-Rock? Just wanted to drop in and bless the homie." And you did, bro. Like, yo, these rich dudes got too much pool, man. Y'all scary. You rich guys are scary, man. Yo, these rich guys are scary. Donald Trump getting GoFundMe saying he needs help with his court case. Like, bro, you should have not done the crime. Like, what are we doing here? Like, as he should. He don't want to spend his billions on his own defense. Like, what? What the hell is he talking about?
Hold on. The thing is not to spend your money; it's to spend other people's money.
But you did the crime, bro.
That's how the rich. That's how the rich stay rich. They don't lose their money; they lose other people's money. You see what I'm saying?
That's some bullshit right there. That is some bullshit. But shout out to Ghost, man. Thank you so much. And Sleepy Lights. You know, he got a $1 super chat. I truly appreciate that. And he came back with hit Jay in. I want to know what he got to say. Oh, y'all ready? Y'all ready to hear what Jay got to say? Because he's about to unload. And P-Rock don't know the secret. Oh, man. Here we go. What you got to say, my brother? What you got to say, my brother?
I'm going to say this, Puerto Rock. These guys the defense for Xbox, they're running out of excuses. First, it was defending Game Pass, and then the Game Pass numbers stopped coming in, right? Then it was the engagements. Then the engagements stopped coming in. Then, it used to be the sales. The sales stopped coming in. It used to be MPD, the MPD. Now, it's sad. You look at these numbers right here, and these guys still pretend like Xbox is just the best thing ever. It's doing so great. They're trying to hold the line. But when you post those numbers side by side, Xbox and PlayStation is just killing it month after month, quarter after quarter, year after year. Mind you, it's allegedly the weaker console. So they lost the power narrative when it came from that. The power narrative didn't change anything. And then they start talking about the revenue, right? And then you look at the revenue for PlayStation is just through the roof. And then the revenue is down year on year, quarter over quarter, month after month. And then the sad part about it, the worst generation ever in history for Xbox is outdoing not just one next generation console from Microsoft, but two next generation. I thought when these guys dropped two next generation consoles, I thought the numbers were supposed to double, right? Easily. Double. Not actually less than the one console that you had, the Donnie D box. How the fuck is Donnie D outdoing Phil Spencer with two next generation consoles, Puerto Rock? I don't understand that.
I don't know.
And to add injury into insult, and I'll wrap it up, to add injury to the result, you got people like Jez Courtney, like you pointed out. Jez Courtney is writing this article. He's like, damn it, Microsoft has already given up on the console space. Now they're fucking getting outdone in the cloud space, the place that they said that they were trying to tackle. PlayStation came out with the 4K streaming before Xbox, and Xbox has the Azure cloud servers and all of this stuff that these guys told us that Sony was behind. They was behind. They need to play catch up. And I'm wondering, with all of this said and done, can you tell me what particular area is Xbox excelling at? And well, just one area, right, that they're excelling at. Because I see this chart that shows me cloud streaming, Samsung TVs, mobile phones, tablets. You don't even right now. Microsoft is advertising. You don't even need an Xbox. No console required. That's the big push right now. So with that, what exactly is Microsoft trying to sell to the gamer? What are they telling the gamer? Because right now it's totally mixed messages. You're telling them they don't need a console, and yet Jez Courtney said these guys are taking people off of the cloud and putting them on other things. They're almost abandoning the cloud. So what is there? What's your take on that? Why the hell? What is Xbox at this point in time? What is it?
So let me start off. I see Seth. Let me start off with super chat. My boy, Black Metal Software Program Enthusiast. He says Xbox is basically a more successful Steam machine. It's a good way of looking at it. Right? But someone in chat, Septus says, you're salty as fuck about Starfield not being on PS. See, this is the thing. So you clearly have not followed me for long. So I bought an Xbox One, the 1 terabyte edition. No,
about me.
Oh, he's saying Porter Rock. He tagged me. No, but he tagged me. He said he added me, right? I bought an Xbox One 1 terabyte edition just to play Cuphead. So I am not. I am not one of those gamers where a game not being on a particular box will stop me from playing the game. I grew up where if I want to play the game, I will get the box. Shit, I had TurboGrafx-16 in my house. I had a Atari Jaguar, right? I had a Saturn. PS1, you know what I'm saying? I had the TurboGrafx-16 CD and I had the Genesis CD, the Sega CD for the Genesis. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm used to just playing games on whatever platform. This gen, I'll be honest. Let's say if Microsoft did not do day and date with PC, I probably would have bought Xbox console even with all the issues, because ultimately, absolutely, if it has a game I want to play, then I just got to get the console even with all the faults. It's just that Microsoft gave me a way out. By right of putting their games day and day on PC, they gave me the options to choose another platform beyond their consoles. Now, of course, you could be like, that's the point. I'm like, sure, you could say that's the point, but where does that lead the console? Because I was a console gamer, right? Yeah. But I am not. If I have an option that's better, that gives me everything I want, without losing anything that I want in gaming, then I'm gonna choose the better thing. And right now, Xbox Series consoles just don't have anything for me, right? Other than the games, but you don't have to get it for the games. So then what do I get it for? If it's not for the games, then what do I get the console for? Sure, you could say convenience. Well, maybe, a person could say they don't want to spend a lot of money on PC. That's true. So for those that don't want to break the $1,000 threshold or whatever, that's their viable option. Some people don't want to deal with the tinkering. That's viable options. But I personally don't mind that stuff. That it's not, those things are not that critical for me, especially the money part. The money part definitely is not critical for me, right? Because for gaming, it's more about time than it is about money, right? But so just put that to bed. But now here's the point, right? We're gonna talk. This is what's weird, right? It's one thing to know that Microsoft is messing up, right? And I always said I think the biggest issue Microsoft has is its leadership and people. Now I don't know what level. Of course, I could easily say it's the direct leadership within Microsoft, right? I mean, within Xbox. But at the same time, it could be the people above them who just don't nurture the division. Like they put too many strict rules, and and I don't want to sound like I'm damage controlling. I just don't know where in the company the problem is at. All I know is it is within the company and it's with certain people. It's with people. It's definitely a people problem. because you can't keep having whatchamacallit, buying studios, buying developers, buying games, and you still have the same goddamn problem. You make new consoles, you hire people to build new consoles, and yet you still have the same problem. It's something with the management. It's just whether it's internal to Xbox, because like you could say fire everybody at Xbox, right? But if the problem is not at Xbox, it's with Microsoft headquarters, then you're still gonna get the same problem. I just don't know if that's the reality, right? But whatever it is within the company, right? Because Nintendo and Sony, PlayStation, they have Nintendo is the company, so that's easy for them, right? Because the head figures are the game guys, right? Sony is closer to Microsoft in the sense that they have head figures that worry about more than gaming. They got their TVs, they got movies, studios, picture studios, music, they got a banking system, so they have multiple things they have to worry about. But when it comes to their relationship with PlayStation, they that's their golden child. They really take care of the PlayStation division. So PlayStation makes the right moves, and the shareholders and Sony is very supportive of that brand, right? So there's no issue from the leadership perspective, right? That's why they work so well, and that's why the brand so work. But something's wrong at Microsoft, right? Now, what blows my mind, if you're a true Xbox fan, in terms of content creation, I'm not talking about gamer, because as a gamer, you could just enjoy the games, and if it fails, oh well, it is what it is. You enjoyed it until it's gone, right? But if you're a content creator and you're creating content on Xbox, you're one of those influencers for Xbox, you hype Xbox, you talk Xbox, there is no way you can be this delusional and ignore all these issues, right? It's just impossible, because you got to ask yourself, Microsoft is not doing this to be your friend. They're not friends for anybody. They're a business, right? And as long as things are going the way they want, they are cool with the audience. But until things go sideways, they will abandon the audience. They did it with Mixer, right? When they launched Mixer, They were cool with the community. They were encouraging people to be on Mixer, be a streamer, start a career. They were doing all that funding programs, make money off of Mixer, all that stuff. They even got Shroud, Ninja. They were giving them NBA contracts. $60 million contract for Ninja, $50 million for Shroud. They were all about it. They were encouraging the community, tight community, listening to them, getting features, making money. Everything's all swell. Then one day, out of the blue, in the middle of the pandemic, mind you, and this was happening like in June, July, in 2020, when gamers were actually making money off of Mixer during the pandemic. Microsoft just out of blue said, oh yeah, Mixer's done. Go to Facebook. They didn't even give them a warning so they could have time to transition either back to Twitch or go to YouTube. Not even that. Instantly. Done. Over. We encourage you to go to Facebook. We give no F's about you truly came out of Microsoft. That's the true Microsoft. Mixer did not align with their business goal. Nothing else mattered. Sorry. We understand, they didn't even apologize, nothing. So all those people that was using Mixer as a way to make money or some type of change, Microsoft didn't care. At the end of the day, Mixer didn't align with their goals. They will do the same thing for Xbox. Microsoft only likes you as long as Xbox is meeting their goal. The moment it doesn't, they don't care. Like, for example, and right now what's looking spooky is their console, because that's what's hurting them the most. That is what's, any money they try to make. Let me show you the image right here. As you can see, content and services, plus 5%. Not a lot, but at least it's a plus. Total gaming revenue, right? This is total, plus only 1%. That number would be higher if you subtracted the hardware, negative 13%. Exactly. If they didn't lose any money, on hardware, then the overall revenue would have had a higher output. Their hardware's holding them back. The question is how...
they've admitted they lose. They admitted they lose $100 to $200 off of each console.
Yeah, I want you to think about that. That 1%, right? And this is for the audience, right? That's after subtracting whatever this damn hardware is removing. The hardware revenue that's removing it, that's what ended up having total 1% in total gaming revenue. Right? They're going to figure out what's wrong with that hardware number, and one way or another, they're going to get rid of that. And then I don't mean by get rid of the hardware. They're going to try their best to ensure that they're not losing money on hardware. They're going to come up with a strategy. And it blows my mind that these Xbox content creators are not talking about that. They rather talk about Final Fantasy 16 and Square Enix results. Yep. But they are completely ignoring the very thing that they buy, which is their console. They completely ignoring that. That would be my biggest concern, because you can't go quarter after quarter losing hardware revenue and think a company's just going to stand there and just keep doing it for the entire gen perpetually. They're not going to keep losing that money. It makes no sense that you're making all this money off of content services, and then it just gets dragged down by hardware revenue. They're going to figure something out. Now, for me personally, I think next gen, they're going to look at the Xbox Series S strategy and say, you know what? We're going to actually double down and actually just create not a super powerful console, not repeat the Series X type scenario, but create an affordable, moderate performing console and advertise that as, a value console that you can afford and sign up with Game Pass. No more power narrative. No more world's most powerful console. No more. If you notice, they don't even talk about power no more. They completely eliminated the advertising at all. Most of their conversation is value.
They made their videos private, Puerto Rock. Those videos.
They're done.
Talking about,
yeah. Shout out to King Thrash. He says, I told y'all years ago, it's a wrap. Game Pass was MSX's strategy out of the console market. Grand opening, grand closing. PR voice. Grand opening, grand closing. Facts, right? Microsoft, right? They already see a blueprint. They stopped talking about power. No one's holding them accountable for that, except my brother, but he looking crazy, so I got to have a conversation with him. But in terms of power, that conversation's over. And when you think about it, there is no more power conversation between PlayStation. That's done. No Xbox is trying to look at Digital Foundry anymore. That shit is done. That shit is done, right? Hold on, let me do something, right?
Guess what the narrative is now, Puerto Rock?
What?
It's not that they don't see it. They see it. The Xbox, they know it's coming. And I'm going to tell you how they know it's coming. J.S. Gordon just wrote that article. And if you read some of the excerpts from him, I posted in the general as well as in our DM or whatever, our thread that we have. You can see Red Dragon, he highlighted some of J.S. Gordon's highlights, and he highlighted the same stuff that you were talking about. So the fan base knows it. The fact that even my brother Tim Dogs, shout out to him, he tweeted today. He said, "We're too dependent. We're dependent too much on the console." He said that's the old way. Like I told many, this strategy is an old one. It's an old way of thinking. He said Xbox is coming strong with competition. Game Pass is coming. But he's already trying to move the narrative away from consoles. Like consoles is a old thing. It's an old fad. We're moving to something else. They've already accepted the fact that the Xbox consoles are going away. They've already accepted it. They're already trying to prepare themselves to spread the word around the community that consoles are old dinosaur ways, the same way that they've convinced themselves that sales didn't matter, that NPD don't matter, that it's an old way of looking at things. So I've said this for a long time now. The Xbox community, their gaming habits is whatever Phil Spencer tell them their gaming habits are. I'll repeat myself. The Xbox community's gaming habits is whatever Microsoft tell them it is. Back then, they used to brag and they used to want exclusive games. Xbox was the best place to play. Then it was Xbox has the best multiplats. It's the best place to play multiplats. And then now the console is not even the best place to play any game. They're totally moving away. So I think the fan base knows it, but they can't quite. I think the fact that they started worrying more about PlayStation, trying to beat PlayStation fans, and they worried too much about ponies instead of what their own console was providing them and what Microsoft was doing to their own platform. And I think they got sidetracked with worrying about us teasing them, that They woke up one day and realized their console is fucking going the way of the dodo bird right in front of their faces. They see these numbers that you post on the screen. They see that every day. They see these numbers, negative 13%, negative 113%, negative 50% month after month, while Sony's is a plus 100%, 100 plus 133%. They see that. They see these PlayStation flying off the shelf, like Digital Foundry said. We did it right on the podcast, where Digital Foundry mocked the fact that the Xbox can be had for as little as $100. Right, while the PlayStation consoles are still flying off the shelves.
You know what's funny? I post that and everybody's getting mad at me. I'm like, holy shit, this is from Digital. I'm just repeating what Digital Foundry said.
You see that?
I'm like, yo.
You see, they will attack you.
It was literally Digital Foundry that said you could get an Xbox on Facebook Market. I just make the joke about it. Oh, you're looking through Facebook Marketplace instead of Final Fantasy 16. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm
exactly.
like, what?
Exactly. So I'm telling you, Puerto Rock, it's sad days are ahead for the Xbox, but I think what they're going to do, they're going to accept it, and whatever Phil Spencer and Microsoft decide to do, they're just going to accept it. They're going to move forward with that, and they're going to brag about that and say that's the way the industry is going, instead of looking at Xbox and say that's the way Phil Spencer says Xbox is going, not the industry, because Microsoft is not the industry. Xbox is damn sure not the industry. The industry is PlayStation and Nintendo. That's where the majority of the gamers are. They control the industry.
Even if they try to, let's just say, even if with the whole console thing, I don't understand how they formulated the rationality that consoles is the old way of thinking, right? Because you got 3 console makers. It's Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo. Nintendo's selling Switch through the rooftops. PlayStation selling PlayStation through the rooftops. It's Microsoft who's going through this new strategy that's not only hurting in hardware sales, but their revenue is not going up. It's barely moving the needle. I don't understand how these numbers equal the future, the future way for gaming, yet these numbers is dinosaur. How is right here breaking records like a dinosaur metric? How is Nintendo potentially on pace to sell more than the PlayStation 2, a dinosaur way metric? How is the most successful platforms this gen not up to speed and dinosaur old way of thinking, yet the consoles that's doing the new way of thinking, they're hurting? These are not good numbers. I don't understand, like, how can you rationalize numbers that are not good with, that's how you do it, baby. What are you talking about? You're on a 5-game losing streak. That's not the path to the playoffs, bro. But that's the new, we found a playbook that's going to lead us to the championship. Bro, we're on a 10-game losing streak. Your playbook sucks. Like, this is not the way. Like, I don't understand that.
Here's the reality of it, Puerto Rico. They know that, they understand that, but their pride won't let them to say it publicly. Because again,
but you know what? You know what? I don't mean to cut you off, but I know exactly what you mean. But here's the thing, though. At what point does pride take over the hobby that you love? Like, bro, you like them dudes, like them dudes capping and doing these crazy shit doesn't impact the rest of the world. They're on the verge of gaming in a way they don't want to game. Like, it's true, like, oh, consoles don't matter, bro. You literally, how are you going to say the product you paid $500 no longer matters? That's what you bought. You literally bought the product. Don't you want what you pay for to be the very best important priority from the company? Do you mean to tell me that these guys bought a $500 console, but yet say, whatever?
Yep.
What? That makes no guy. Like me, I argue for exclusives for PlayStation 5, not because I worry about keeping games locked out of other players. That's not how I see it. I just see it as I want Sony to make this item the priority. It's your goddamn machine. Sony, it's your goddamn machine. You built it. You have Mark Cerny on this podcast, whatever, on this keynote speech talking about the great things to do. Well, then do it. Don't come tell me you're also making PC games day one, and now this just becomes a generic device. I'm not trying to hear that. I paid $500. Sony owes me focus on this $500 product. That's how I see it. I don't want to hear inside, well, Sony's business strategy. I didn't pay $500 for Sony's business strategy. That's called buying stock.
Exactly.
When you buy stock, now you're invested in strategy. When you buy a console, you're invested in this item. So put in that work. If you want to talk Microsoft strategy, then don't talk consoles, talk stock. Have a stock podcast. We bleed stocks podcast. Don't we bleed green, we bleed stocks. Talk about, make it a stock centric podcast where you're talking about the stock options of Microsoft. Then that makes sense. But you can't go pay $500 for a console and then tell people it don't matter. Like, you literally saying what you just bought don't matter? That makes no sense, bro. What do you think about that?
Well, here's the thing. At the beginning of this generation, they sold us on a strategy. They sold us and guaranteed us that we were going to have the best games running on the best console. They sold us on that. They didn't sell us on their market share prices, right? Their stock options and shit like that. We're not stockbrokers. We don't care. We're gamers. They sold the gamers on the hardware and the software that was going to be there. That's what they sold us on. The Xbox fan base have tried to, even a lot of times I've had dudes tell me, well, no, Phil Spencer told you weren't going to have no games for the first 3 years. Like, they literally have convinced themselves that we bought these consoles knowing that Microsoft wouldn't have any games for the first 3 years. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine a person buying a console knowing that it won't have any games for the first 3 years, knowingly? Can you imagine that? No. So, but again, they've convinced themselves certain things because they don't want to accept the truth. The truth is, they were lied to, but they love the corporation and they love the executives so much that supersedes their gaming habits and their hobby. So when this console go away, those same guys will be cheering and rah-rahing the corporation and supporting whatever. I'm honestly, Puerto Rock, I don't think there's going to be a next generation console. I think this is the last generation of console for Microsoft. And the mere fact that they're trying to push gamers away from the console, they're trying to have you to go to the TV, go to the PC, go elsewhere. And you see day after day, people are actually going from Xbox to PlayStation. Sony already reported how many, like 35% of their sales were based on brand new gamers who've never been in the PlayStation ecosystem before.
Yes, they did mention that.
So that's
because they could tell going back to PS3, you create an account now. So now to enjoy PlayStation, you got to create an account, and they can tell by the credit card. So yeah, they have the data to tell who's actually new users and stuff like that. Exactly. Mm-hmm.
So they're providing the data. The mere fact that Microsoft hides the data little by little. I mean, it's right now you can't get any accurate information. They'll give you some percentages, but they won't even give you enough data to even calculate the percentages and verify, right? It is what it is, right? It is what it is. But I think I'm so upset at the fan base, and I've been saying this for years. You guys have walked the Xbox console down the plank. You have assisted Phil in getting the boulders and throwing them over the edge of the boat so this damn anchor can sink. You have helped them do that. You've bragged. You've given this guy an award, an executive award for Executive of the Year, while his gaming division has failed, while his console has failed. You guys have did that. It's because you guys have been in denial because you don't want to accept the fact that today, with two next generation consoles that didn't have the same failures that the previous one didn't have the same executive as the previous one did, is losing to Donny D's box, to the Xbox One. That I can't fathom that. That is freaking crazy.
Shout out, hit the like button. Shout out. We got Wadawana. He says Sony is so strong right now that they are releasing a Wi-Fi only handheld. Yeah, it's a ballsy move, right? Sony and Nintendo can take risks like that because they keep the games flowing. Yo, facts. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how that Q Lite's gonna ultimately end up. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's. We'll see how that is. I don't think it's gonna be good. But here's the thing, right?
Yeah.
It's easy. Microsoft, in my opinion, they did too much too fast, and like what King Threat mentioned, was these moves purposeful with the ultimate goal of just being done with the console? Because Microsoft, during that epic Apple battle, they testified in court, they have never been able to make a profit off console. Now that blows my mind in itself, because I want you to understand that.
24 years.
Yeah, I want you guys to understand that statement, right? Sony and Nintendo's probably the best at it because they know how to release consoles and make profit day one. Sony is the opposite. They're more traditional, where in order to get good hardware, good performance, whatever, they initially take a loss on their console. So they'll lose $100, $150, whatever the number is, they lose. But within a year, they're already revising it to get the components cheaper, manufacturing costs cheaper, to whittle that down. And usually within a year and a half, they already start profit. And now it could be $5, $10, whatever, but they are no longer losing money on the console. And they usually do that within a year, maybe a year and a half at the most. But very quickly, they start making money off the console. Now, I already know the number one fanboy Xbox argument. You don't make money in consoles, hardware. It's all about the software. Yes, I understand that. But
you need
making money,
for the software.
but no, listen. But even yes, you do need the hardware software. But there is nothing wrong with still making money off the hardware as well. It's not a competition between the two. It's not hardware revenue versus software revenue. It's hardware revenue, and it's the complete picture of where you get your money. Sony finds a way that as they sell hardware, they also make money off it. But they also make money off the sales of games, first party and third party. They also make money off subscriptions. They make money off of MTX. They make money off of peripherals. It's the whole complete picture of PlayStation revenue. So yes, hardware revenue, right? It's not about saying hardware revenue is the main reason. No, the main reason is the sales of software and services. Yes, that is the main reason. But that doesn't mean you don't strive to still make money off your hardware. Sony does that. Microsoft is unable to do that. And that will blow my mind. They just don't have the system to where they eventually revise the Xbox consoles so they can start making money off it. They consistently lose money every single year for the entire gen. Every gen that they stood. Now, when you do that, at a certain point, people are going to start asking, how can we stop losing money from our hardware? Because that's money lost regardless of how much money you gain from software and services, right? Now, I think J-Dub thinks they're done with console. This is going to be the last one. That's a potential option, right? Because if you eliminate the console and you strictly rely on Game Pass via the app, you rely on the app to be on your phone, on your tablets, on TVs, maybe come out with a streaming stick, which is much affordable, and you can make money off a streaming stick or PC. I could see that option, right? I think they're going to give consoles one more chance, but a completely different direction than what they've been doing. Because before, they were always about the powerful hardware, top of the line hardware. At least they try, right? Clearly, Xbox, powerful hardware, best place to play third party is not a thing. Third party, people play it on PlayStation when it comes to consoles. Obviously, there's PC as well, but when it comes to console gaming, it's primarily PlayStation. So I think Microsoft is done with trying to convince people play your third party on Xbox because it's the best place to play because of power. They're done with that. I think what they're going to try to do is they're going to double, triple, quadruple down on that value gaming. Because when you think about it, sure, you can point out certain things that are value centric on PlayStation. Like you could say PS Plus Extra is value, great value for what it does. PS Plus Premium, PS Essential in the store. Like we can point out things that are value. But Sony doesn't really sell it that way. Sony never really says that they're value gaming. That's not their sales pitch. Their sales pitch is premium gaming, the best experiences. They don't really go deep into, we're a value gaming where you could just play a lot for low cost. They don't advertise that. That's not their thing. Yep. Now, Microsoft, if they advertise that next year, if they go triple down on that, their and they don't try to release the world's most powerful console. Let's say they release a console that's around $350, $300 to $350, competent hardware, something like, let's say that's in between a Series S and a Series X, the middle ground, just good enough, better than a Series S, but they're not encroaching on Series X type capabilities. Just, they release a new console that's like middle of the ground, $350, good hardware, you can play all the games, but they're not going to talk about or convince people that you're going to get the best performance, the best resolution. No, they're just going to say, hey, we release an affordable console so you can play Game Pass. You don't got to spend a lot of money, and it's pretty good. That's an area where Sony doesn't compete in, because Sony's not interested in that. Sony's not interested in telling you, hey, we got a nice affordable entry console where you could just play our subscription games. That's not their thing. Their thing is, we're coming out with a great console, and it's going to do things for developers, and you're going to have amazing experiences. They're trying to give you the premium quality experience. If Microsoft can pull themselves out of that competition and just go in their own lane and just say, hey, we're not here to out-console Sony. Sony got the whole premium experience. Over here, we got, cheeseburgers and nuggets.
Yep.
You're not going to brag about our food, but it'll fill you up. We ain't Roof Chris, but I guarantee it'll still fill your stomach up. So just enjoy some value gaming. Buy our console for $300. You get 3 months of free Game Pass, and then you can sign up for the rest of the year. It's affordable gaming. We're just affordable gaming. Don't worry about the graphics. Don't worry about the performance. If it's 30 FPS, it's 30 FPS. If it's 60, it's 60. Hey, at least you were able to get into gaming without spending a lot of money.
Yeah.
And some gamers are cool with that. Some gamers will be like, yo, that's good enough for me. I'm not worried about the graphics. I'm not worried about the best experience. I just, if you could get me to play a lot of these new games and I don't have to spend a lot of money, for some people, that's enough. And we've seen that already. We've seen a lot of gamers, they like these Xbox games, not really on the merit of the game itself, but just on the fact that you got to admit, there's always been a lot of gamers that didn't buy a lot of games on every platform. Not every game is a hardcore gamer. Some gamers only buy like 2 or 3, maybe 1 or 2 games a year. And if they do buy it, it's usually Call of Duty or Madden. But there's not a lot of gamers that buy 20, 30 games a year. So when you think about something like Game Pass, where you have access to 400 games, for a lot of these gamers, that's more games than they ever played in their whole life. They never had a library of all these games because that's not what they did. They buy a console and they maybe buy 1 or 2 games a year, usually the same game, Call of Duty, Madden. And then maybe when a Grand Theft Auto comes out, or like, a Grand Theft Auto, a really big super game, then they'll buy that. But they won't buy 10, 12, 15 games a year. That's just not what they do. Now they have a thing where they instantly have lots of games. They don't really care how big or whatever the game. Just the fact that they have access to a lot, that's good enough for them. And I think Microsoft is going to double down on those gamers. The gamers that don't buy a lot of games, that don't like to spend a lot of money on hardware, they're going to go after them. Now, that might not be a big crowd, but if going in that direction prevents them from having this number, negative 13, even if it's positive plus 1, it did the job. They're just trying to eliminate that negative symbol. If they could just eliminate that negative symbol, even if Xbox hardware only gets a positive 1% increase, 2%, just even if it's a low number, it is still better than this negative thing. And if that's what they got to do to try to get into positive, then that's what they're going to do. And sure, people will bash them, right? Oh, you used to have powerful hardware. Your games run like shit. I'm going to PlayStation. They're not going to care as long as they get a positive on that box. If they get a positive on that box, you could rag on their graphics. You could rag on their performance till the cows come home. It doesn't matter. They want a plus. They want all 3 of those things to be plus. Plus, plus, plus. That's the ultimate goal.
How about this, Porter Rock? Let me throw a slightly alternative strategy out there.
Mm-hmm.
Because Microsoft bought ZeniMax, because they're buying ABK, they're effectively the world's largest publisher, right? Mm-hmm. They own all these studios. I think like 37 studios collectively between that and what they already have. So they have all of this stuff. If they can cut the stuff that's dragging it down, which is the hardware, cut the console, Just be what you are. Be the Ubisoft. Be the EA of gaming. Be the, you got all of these different games and you putting it out there, and all of these games are making money, not only because it can be had under a subscription service, but these games are selling full price. But think about it. These games are also coming to Nintendo. These games are also going on PlayStation. So, and these games are available any and everywhere. I think that's going to be Microsoft's strategy, to make money across the board, not to be hamstrung by this box that nobody really wants. I mean, if the console is, I think this console is going to sell less than what the Xbox One. So
I think so too.
It's projecting towards that point based on the numbers. If they cut their loss there, they're going to make that 70% across the board because they're the publisher, right? Yeah, sure, they're going to let Sony, because Sony's going to make a little cut off of it because you're putting it in their store, but they don't care. They still have a subscription service. They're still going to be trying to get people to sign up for Game Pass and stuff and play it on the tablets and various other things. That's the strategy I see Microsoft going for. I don't think they're really wedded to the cloud. I just think they're going to take an overall strategy. Hey, we'll make money wherever we can.
Yeah, there's one factor we still have to consider because we don't really know. So look at the content and services, right? That's in the positive.
Yes.
Part of that is the 30% they get from third party. We don't really know. I know we rag on Xbox gamers not buying third party games because PlayStation outsells it. But within Xbox own metrics, we don't know how big or how little that 30% of revenue they get from across all games, indies, third party, whatever. We really don't know that number, right? Because if that number is still pretty significant from the console, then they can't completely cut out the console because then they have no way to make 30% from third party. Because Game Pass is limited to just Game Pass. And PC, they buy third party on Steam. So right now, I would say the only anchor that the console has that keeps it relevant, at least for Microsoft, I would assume, is that 30% royalty fee. Now, when that becomes negligible, like let's say if that number let's assume that number is dropping because more and more gamers are playing games in Game Pass and buying less games from third party. Let's say most of their revenue is coming from Game Pass, and now third party 30% cut revenue is to the point where, you know what, it's not worth making a console for this 30%. Then I think that's the delta. That's the delta we're waiting for. That's the delta. The delta is it worth making a console for this 30% cut? Because that's really what the console's only bringing to the table at this point, right? They're making a console because people buy third party on that console, which means they get the 30%. But at what point does that 30% becomes negligible where, you know what, it's not worth making a console for this drippy 30% revenue? When it hits that point, you could definitely see your future that you plan it out as being, we don't need a console because we're just not making a lot of money off of third party sales. It's just not happening anymore.
Think about it, Puerto Rock. We already kind of do see the numbers because we see that only 7% of Street Fighter 6 sales were on Xbox, right? Just 7% was
I agree.
Out of the collective, and then other games are like that. Every game, Resident Evil, only 6-7%, right? And these are big third party games. Less than 10% of the sales are on Xbox. So again, like you said, we don't know the direct how much money that is, if that's worth it. But I'm looking at what's on your screen right now. Xbox hardware, 13%. Let me deduct 5% from that 13. I'm still down, right? I'm still down like 8, I'm still down to 8%.
Yeah.
So But again, like you said, we don't know what that cut is. We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know because
a lot of factors that go.
because the numbers are low. But remember, it's free labor. Because Microsoft, all they tell the company is give me 30%, and they just sit there and rake in the money,
put
right?
It in my store, yeah,
that's it. Just by simply having it on the store, Microsoft gets that cut, and then it's across all, and then there's also money transactions. We don't know how much money transactions Microsoft. So that's another set of revenue. Again, So you got the 30% cut from third party, but you also got the money transaction 30% cut. You know, from Fortnite, Call of Duty. We don't know how much money they get from that too. Again, if you don't have a console, you're not gonna get that revenue. Because again, all that revenue's mostly on PC is primarily either on Steam or Epic Game Store. It's not really on the Microsoft Xbox Store. So Microsoft barely sees any money transaction revenue on PC on games being played on Steam or Epic Game Store. Epic and Valve gets that money. So really, Xbox is the only surefire way to see that 30% cut off of third-party sales and off of money transaction off of the games that's being played. Like right now, let's say Destiny. Destiny's a pretty big game on Xbox. A lot of gamers are playing it. Whatever they buy, Microsoft gets a 30% cut, you know, but they can only do that on their console. If you play Destiny on PC, you're playing that on Steam. Microsoft, you see? So we don't know that delta yet, right? But at a certain point, if it gets worse and worse and worse, Microsoft, like that's really at what point does Microsoft look at that 30% and say this 30% is simply not worth it to have, because we would have to keep making this console, which is worse. So it's better to just get, you know, we don't know when, if they're at that point or when they get to the point. Let me hit up some super chats. JD Gamer. Most gamers are casual gamers. Most gamers don't know about the things we hardcore talk about. Casual gamers are also fickle. We hardcore gamers might console war, but casuals can care less. I agree. And I totally agree, right? When it comes to casual gamers, most gamers at all, it isn't really, the internet has some influence a little bit because you see something trend, but the thing that trends the most is what you can see when you walk into the store. That's where everything, that's when the rubber hits the road, right? When you walk into a store and you see a Spider-Man poster and you see a God of War poster and people are talking about it, your friends are talking about it, you see on Amazon and all this stuff, you're in the movie theater and you see the advertisements for Spider-Man, all that stuff, that gets people to buy consoles. That gets people to be like, yo, I gotta get that, right? If you don't have that pizzazz, if you don't have that shine and pizzazz of games that when it comes out, people be like, hey, yo, that is crazy, I gotta get that, that's where you're in trouble. Right? Yeah. You gotta, if you really want to know, right? If to the people in the chat and everything, if you want to be honest, simply walk into a GameStop, walk into a Best Buy, and just look at what you see from PlayStation and Xbox. And when you actually be honest and look at just what you see, the advertisement and the displays, you'll notice, like, you know what? Yeah, this Xbox section just don't look good. Like, there's nothing really, there's like, other than the color green, there's nothing that pops out that will make a new gamer, like a gamer that doesn't have a next current gen console. They don't have a PS5 or Xbox One X, and they're trying to go in and choose. When they look at it, like you look at the PS5 section, you see these posters, you see these games, it's like, yo, like, man, this is attractive. Let me get this. This is no wonder my friends are talking about this. Xbox is just not a very attractive looking setup because Microsoft hasn't provided the content and games to plaster and be like, boom, take a look at this. And make people be like, yo, I gotta cop that. Now I know the bet is the games that are coming out, you know, Starfield and the games next year, right? And that you know, if Microsoft start making bangers next year, if Fable's a banger, if Avowed's a banger, what else they got? Clockwork, I don't know, what's that game? What, a Clockwork Revolution. If that ends up like like if they start releasing bangers that actually trend, things could get better for Xbox. Things could start moving, you know, because PlayStation 3 did it. You know, things were bad in the beginning, but once they released the games, you could change, you know, believe me, when you, like, I don't agree with Phil's statement of that releasing banging games don't change life. Sure, maybe it's not going to make a person sell his or her PS5, but that doesn't mean releasing banging games won't make a person who has a PS5 now consider, you know what, now I could get an Xbox because now I see the games. They may not sell the PS5, they're still going to keep it, but at least make them consider to also get another console because the games look too good to not get. You know what I'm saying?
No, put a rock. The reason I didn't like when Phil said that, because that in itself told me that this motherfucker is not even going to try to make good games. Like, he is already giving up saying that, you know, it's just not true. If we make great games, it's going to matter. I'm like, dude, you're in a video game space. You run a video game company. You're telling the gamers that it doesn't matter if you make great games. You're not even going to attempt to. Like that was a defeatist attitude. And that was a
But
big kick in the ball.
but let me ask you this:
spent all this money for that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but let me ask you this though. Outside of the console or competitive nature, is he defeated?
Yeah.
Is he, because I know he presented it like he's tired, but is he trying to just be real and say, listen, guys, like just like this, like we got to be real. Like in my opinion, I think Phil Spencer is just being honest. He sees the numbers. He's been at this for 20 years, and sometimes you just gotta. It's like you just gotta admit it. Like this ain't the way. We're just not gonna be PlayStation. There's nothing we can do. What we can do is try to. I mean, when you think about it, I think you mentioned in the podcast, Sony pretty much beats everybody. Even Nintendo. Nintendo had to go in a new direction.
Yeah.
Even Nintendo, and they got Zelda, they got Mario, and even Nintendo's like, yo, we not gonna do this traditional console no more. That's not, we can't do it.
Sony has ran basically everybody out of the lane. Like they're in that truck, and they've ran everybody off the road, and everybody goes and do their own thing because they.
Or you're just gone from the industry. You either adapt and do something in your own lane, or you're just pretty gonna get rid. And I think Phil realizes that. He's like, either we go in our own lane and try something, or we're eventually gonna be disappeared off the map because we just can't compete with PlayStation. It's just not gonna happen. I think Nintendo realized that too. That's why they invented the Wii, and they were like, oh, we're gonna create new controls, and then they try to get back in it with the Wii U a little bit.
Yeah.
And they got stomped the fuck out. Excuse my language. They got stomped out. And Nintendo's like, you know what? Yeah. We're just going to do what we do best. And what they do best is mobile gaming. And so they just say, you know what? We're just going to combine the two. We're going to have mobile gaming with some type of at least decent console type gaming and call it a day. And it worked. They're in their own lane. And it's working beautifully. No one compares the Switch to the PlayStation because it's not the same market. You know what I'm saying? It's just two different expectations. So Nintendo found their own lane and they're sticking with it. And I think Phil realizes I got to find Xbox own lane. Because if we stay on this course, head to head with PlayStation, it ain't going to be an Xbox. It's just not going to happen. And I don't think it's a defeatist attitude. I think it's just being a realist. I think he's just, like the way you said, Sony ran everybody out. I think Phil's smart enough to know Sony out here running people out of business. We're not going to be the next Dreamcast. He's going to give his last shot, and his last shot is, let's try to do a whole new blueprint and be in our own lane. And I think that's all it is. I think Phil's just telling the community, if anything, I think Phil just wants to stop being compared to PlayStation. If you were to ask him that, like, hey, Phil, how do you feel about being compared? How do you honestly feel about being compared to PlayStation? He would probably say, please stop doing it. We're done. We don't want to be compared to PlayStation no more. Don't compare us to them no more. I don't want it.
He literally basically said that. He said, listen, we're not in the business of trying to out console Nintendo and Sony. They're just too strong, and they got deals in place, and they got games and shit that we just kind of can't. And I respect, again, after that interview, I stopped fucking with Phil as far as teasing him and saying this. I understood, because at least he laid it out on the line. Prior to that interview, it was like, you got a piece of meat and you're wagging it in front of somebody's face and you're kind of dragging it on. It's like, stop dragging this shit on. We know where this is going. Be honest. Tell the gamers so their expectations can be in check. Because they're thinking they're finna get a big foray of 4 quadruple A and all kind of A, these big blockbuster games that are never gonna come, right? And then Matt Booty's on the other side saying, listen, we're not making, we're not trying to make AAA games. We're going to give you a bunch of indies and AA. We're going to polish the AA enough so they can be close to AAA. That's what we're going to do. That's our focus. But then if Phil is out here, taking the meat in front of dangling that carrot in front of their face and stringing them along, I'm glad he said that. Now, I don't have any quarrels with Phil. I'm glad he said what he said. It's on record. It's in 8K, right? Everybody can watch it. But I think the one thing that the reason why I give Xbox such a hard time, because I'm a person where I'm like, you either shit, pardon my French, but you either shit or get off the pot. Because I'm worried that what Microsoft is trying and what they're trying to do can directly affect Nintendo, Sony, in the industry, what they're trying to do. All this Game Pass stuff, all this day-to-day stuff, all of this all of these different things that they're trying, and you know they're failing at it. But still, if somebody see an avenue that they can take it, they'll take it. Right? Look at the games as a service type stuff. Look at the cloud streaming stuff. Look at all of that stuff. That stuff can get contagious. Yeah. And you know, a lot of times we should say Sony will never do this, Sony will never do that. Shit, we learned to shut the fuck up and let it happen because we can never say what Sony won't do. And I gotta give blame to Microsoft for that. Microsoft started that. Sony looking over there like, shit, that may be an avenue we want to jump in. And sure enough, they just do it
differently, but they still did it.
Do it differently.
Let me hit up some super chat. Yeah, let me shout out to Guapzilla. He says Xbox and COD admitted in court to an 80-20 split, not 7-30. Yes, that is correct. And Activision stated Xbox percentage of their business was less than 1% and PS was 12%. Yeah, specifically like COD. COD has that pool to be like, yeah, we ain't paying that 30% tax. That shit. And they have that pool and stuff like that. So yeah, you are right. That information is correct. The general 730 conversation is just pretty much like the industry standard across the board generally. In fact, I think Epic Games though is different. Epic Game Store, they only charge 15% across the board, which is pretty I remember reading that. JD Gamer. What Phil said was that no single game, no matter how good it is going to make them win the console war, and it's not. That's true. So now MS has the money to change the video game market paradigm. So I do agree. I don't think what Microsoft is doing is going to change the video game market paradigm. It's a strategy to change the Xbox paradigm. Xbox is going to be different. Like the traditional Xbox, and I think this is working because they convince half you Xbox gamers to actually say you don't need to buy an Xbox console, which blows my mind. It really blows my mind seeing Xbox console gamers, the console game. Now I can understand the PC gamers. Like if you game on PC and you are saying it, got it. You make sense. But it blows my mind. Like Tim Dog, when Tim Dog is saying it, that blows my mind that he is now saying you don't need to get an Xbox console to play Xbox games. It just blows my mind, right? When that's happening. So like you guys already be conditioned. Like think about it. JD Gamer, if you at any point said and told people it's not about consoles, you don't need a console, then you are already prepping the stage that if Microsoft at any point said, hey, we no longer are making consoles, but we're going to make a streaming stick, we're going to expand our, for the TVs, they can like say, for example, Sony. Chances are they'll never get the Xbox app on a Sony TV. But if they have like a streaming stick, no different than, let's say, like what Amazon Fire Stick, you can plug it to your Sony TV via the streaming stick. So now you got Xbox Game Pass on any device, on any TV, even TVs that aren't modern. As long as it has HDMI port with the appropriate HDMI compliancy, boom, good. If you want high-end premium gaming natively, boom, PC. You guys won't have room to complain about. You won't be able to complain at if Microsoft ever makes a decision to say we're done with consoles, you can't be mad at them when you've been saying you don't need a console. Like you can't have that same energy, right? So Microsoft is already little by little conditioning people to understand you can enjoy Xbox without a console. As that feeling keeps growing and growing, and they expand their xCloud, they expand to streaming sticks, don't be surprised if Microsoft says, yeah, we're done with losing money on hardware because we just keep losing money and we're not about that. Don't be surprised if they pull that, right? Now, here's the thing. With Microsoft purchasing these publishers, right, it's not just about Sony, trying to get games to prevent Sony from, doing deals. It's also really the only guaranteed way to get games on Game Pass. If Microsoft didn't buy Activision, there's no way to get Call of Duty on Game Pass. It's just not going to happen. Just like you're not going to get Madden Day 1 on Game Pass unless you buy EA. It's just not possible. They're going to ask for too much money. And sometimes, even if you did get the money, they're going to say, hell no. Look at Rockstar. Rockstar said that they're not about that life. Take-Two, you're never going to see the mainline GTA games and Red Dead games they want on Game Pass or subscription service. They're telling you already that's not happening. So don't even try it. So how can you get Red Dead and GTA day one on Game Pass? You got to buy the company. So that's the main thing. If Microsoft's going to live and die off of Game Pass and not so much on sales, which allows them to not have hardware like consoles, then you need to buy companies because that's how you get the games day one on Game Pass. You got to buy the companies because not a lot of companies are going to make deals to put their games day one. Yep. JD Gamer, the problem with what Xbox is doing is that it has the potential to upend everything PlayStation can do because buying up publishers will eventually push casuals to their platform. PS needs to compete. I mean, in a world where Microsoft buys every publisher, then yes, of course, right? Because if most of the third-party games are on Xbox and that's the only way you can play, then yes, of course, that's the scenario. The question is, at a certain point, right? Like right now, everybody's cool. The industry, the regulators are cool with Microsoft buying Activision. But at a certain point, the regulators are going to be like, whoa, hold up now. Like, I don't think Microsoft, let's say right now, if the next thing Microsoft goes, hey, we're going to buy EA, that's really going to be scrutinized. Because you got to think everything is compound, right? Everything's fine the way it is now, but now you're going to own EA and Activision? You're going to own Ubisoft and EA? And at a certain point, people are like, okay, Microsoft, calm the fuck down now. At a certain point, you overdoing it, right? And I think you Xbox guys are relying way too much on buying publishers. Right now, Microsoft said, yeah, here's a $70 billion to buy publishers. And even with that, look at the numbers they're producing. At a certain point, shareholders going to be like, relax, because you ain't making that much money. We gave you $70 billion. You bought Activision. Right now, technically, they have way more developers and stuff than Nintendo and PlayStation.
And Sony.
Them shareholders going to be like, make it work with what you got now, because you got more than anybody else. If you can't make it work with this, then how the hell are you going to make it work with more publishers? You got way more than what anybody has now. Now's the time to pay that $70 billion back.
Also, Puerto Rock, I want to put this out here. Collectively, people act like Microsoft can't just get out of the gaming business just because they spent $100 billion on it. They still can, because guess what? They can package and bundle everything that they bought and sell it for more than what they paid for it. That's what people don't realize, the overall business. Microsoft didn't just spend $100 billion just to sit there and then get out of gaming and stuff like that. But they can get out of gaming. If they woke up tomorrow and say, yeah, we're getting out of gaming, we're going to bundle this together and sell this shit to 10 cents, or we're going to split it up and sell it. They'll make more money. They'll make more money doing that. So it's like, we'll spend the money now. It's just like you buy a house, right? You buy a house now, but in 10 years, 15, 20 years, that house is going to be worth more than what you paid for it for. That's always an insurance card. So I think people try to say, oh, Microsoft got to get out of business. They just spent $100 billion. No, they just spent $100 billion to be in this particular space. They're going to make money, and the reason they're going to make money is because, again, they can put their games on in and everywhere. They're going to collect that 70% across the board. If they wanted to, they can still put it in their service and offer the other thing. I think in the beginning, they're going to use a multiple points of their strategy is multiple points, right? It consists of the console, it consists of Game Pass, as well as putting the games on PlayStation and Nintendo. And little by little, as the console tend to go away after they do that, then again, they're going to get rid of console, they're going to reapproach Sony and Nintendo and say, hey guys, we're no longer competing in the console space. Will you now allow us to put our service on your platform, just like you accept EA, just like EA's, just like you accept Uplay, Ubisoft Plus, and stuff like that. Again, there'll be just another service that's offered on PlayStation, Nintendo platform already. That's the space that they're going to be in. They're no longer going to be competition, but they're going to be just like EA and just like everybody else. I think that's what it is. And they're going to make a shitload of money. They are. They're going to make a shitload of money. It's just they're no longer losing billions of dollars on hardware. They don't no longer have to spend billions of dollars on R&D and stuff like that. So, and think about it. Long time ago, even currently, the investors want Microsoft to split the Xbox division off from everything else, because that's historically that's been a thorn in the side. That's why they took the gaming division and merged that with the Azure cloud services and software subscriptions with Microsoft Office. So that way, it's just all to the good. So they can hide their losses, because it's all whatever Xbox loses, it doesn't matter, because Microsoft Office and Azure cloud servers, their service right there will make enough profits to put them in
But the IT infrastructure is what makes them. That's how they became the $2 trillion company. The IT. IT is literally the company is an IT company. That's everything for them, right? That's their bread and butter.
Yep.
Let me shout out JD Gamer says you don't need to buy all the publishers. They only need to buy the hottest games that casuals want. Then they do big money third party deal. But you gotta remember the biggest gamers casuals wants are part of big publishers. So it's like EA with Madden, FIFA Soccer, right? Who else is another big publisher Ubisoft's kind of falling off, to be honest.
Yeah.
Right.
But
Take Two, right? Take Two got NBA 2K, Grand Theft Auto and stuff like that, right? So when you start combining and stacking, it's one thing like if Microsoft goes after a small studio like Moon Studios, I can see them doing that. But if they come back after signing the deal and getting Activision, then they come back, hey, we announced another major acquisition, $40 billion acquisition for EA. Then Khan's going to be like, you see? Now they're going after EA now. Like, who else? How many more? And then people will be like, whoa, like, all right, calm the fuck down, Microsoft. Like, you just literally got one of the biggest publishers. Even the shareholders, I can't see the shareholders. I mean, I'm not going to speak for them. But, like, if I already spent you $70 billion, I'm like, cool, here's $70 billion. And then the next day, hey, I want to spend $40 billion on EA. I'll be like, yo, you ain't done shit with what I gave you already. Like, how about you fix this first? I gave you $70 billion, got you Bethesda. Go work with that. Because I got other shit to worry about. I got an Azure to worry about and stuff like that. Like, bro, like, you want $200 billion and you're in this and you give me 1%? You know what I'm saying? So, I think Xbox gamers, I think JD, I think what it is the acquisition was probably the most positive news Xbox has done. Really, it really has. The acquisition of Bethesda and acquisition of ABK has been the most positive thing Xbox want, and I think you guys want more of it, but I think you guys are overdoing it. Like, they're just not going to randomly keep buying EA, whatever, and just write checks, and the results of these acquisition hasn't truly settled in yet. We got the Sending Gamer saying drop that like button, folks, and thanks for the content pre-work. No doubt, man. I'm glad you guys are enjoying that, and thank you, J-Dub, for coming through, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Brother, I saw you live. I've been
we got to do it
live or whatever.
Yeah, we got to do it.
Let me put my little 2 cents, just my 2 cents. You know what I'm saying? Just my little 2 cents.
We got to do it, right? GD Gamer again. When has MS sold off one of their divisions ever? No, I don't think J-Dub is saying, I don't want to speak for you, but I don't think J-Dub is saying they will do it because that's what they normally do. I'm just saying that is an option. They have multiple options.
No, they wouldn't.
Believe me, you don't become $2 trillion without having backup plans and alternate options to make money.
Exactly.
Right? They got multiple ways to make this work one way or another. JD Gamer, Xbox makes more money now than any gen before. I don't know if they make more profit than any gen before. I don't know. That's really hard.
Even if they did, Puerto Rock, even if they did, you as a gamer, how does that make you feel that they're making more money by not giving you fucking games and giving you shitty hardware? Like, come on. Like, that's crazy.
Here's the one thing you really want to consider, JD. What if they start making even more money by dropping the Xbox console? Would you be cool with that? Would you be cool with Microsoft pushing cloud? So play on the stick, play on TVs, play on phones, or play on PC, play on laptops, or play on these, Asus handhelds and stuff like that. But Xbox says we are done making consoles. We're not in the business. We're a software company. We're no longer spending billions on R&D. We're not just making it. And because of that, we cut tons of revenue loss. And now that actually improves profit margins. And we focus on the places where Game Pass can be played. So we're going to do more marketing pushes for phone devices, make deals with tablet devices, make deals with more TV companies, LG, Samsung. Obviously, chances are Sony's not going to be part of that. But think of every other TV manufacturer that's out there, from TCL to Samsung to LG, Daewoo, whatever. All the big brands, Panasonic, whatever. All the brands that are out there. They have apps all across the board. And for the companies that they don't have deals and don't want the app, that doesn't matter because they'll have a $50, $80 stick or little hub. Boom. You could play through there. And then for those that still have that quench of native hardware, best performance, best whatever. Microsoft will leverage PC for that because it's day and date on PC. Game Pass is on PC. But when they say you can play the best resolution, best graphics, they are kind of telling the truth because PC does deliver that if you're willing to invest in the hardware. So they won't be lying about 60 frames, 100 frames, native 4K and stuff like that because PC does that. The caveat is you have to pay for it on your own dime, but they're telling the truth when they can say you can play this game at native 4K, 120 frames or 100 frames, whatever. Because PC can do that, right? How would you feel if they went in that direction? Would you be cool with that? No more Xbox consoles. These are your options. And Microsoft says this is the way, like the Mandalorian. Would you be cool with that? A world with no console. But it's a world of xCloud and PC gaming, and you get all the content there. That's why you guys need to actually have an honest conversation. Sony, people saying Sony's gonna be done with consoles, bro. They're not gonna be done with consoles anytime soon, just like Nintendo isn't, because these numbers are just too big, bro. Their numbers, are just too big for console gaming. Their numbers are good. Nintendo's numbers are good. So those two, they're not getting away from the console anytime soon. They're actually selling more hardware. It's just insane what they're doing with their hardware. Microsoft's the one that has the challenge. So the question is, are you good with Microsoft saying, hey, we provide Xbox games, blah, 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 all this stuff, Game Pass, great value. You're just done with the console aspect. The console aspect is just not part of the Xbox vision. The Xbox vision is devices that you already have, accessibility through our streaming stick, and if you really, really want to play native gaming on a device, hey, we're going to encourage laptops. We're going to encourage, Asus. They can make deals with Acer or Asus. They can make deals with them, gaming laptops optimized for Xbox, all that weird shit, right? They'll put a sticker on it and boom. All that weird shit, right? Hell, technically, the gaming laptop I got now has a free trial for Game Pass just by me buying a laptop. So they're already doing it to a certain extent. But how would you feel a world with no Xbox console? They're done with that because it doesn't align with their goal. That's the real question the Xbox community needs to have a conversation with. Because before you know it, it could happen. You could just wake up one day, Microsoft has their little Microsoft E3, well, not even E3 no more because that shit's dead, but they have their little Xbox showcase, and they're like, all right, ladies and gentlemen, introducing the future of Xbox. And all they introduce is a streaming stick, expanding their influence on TVs and phones. They have a deal with iPhone or they have a deal with Samsung phones, whatever. But as far as a console, they're like, nope, that is not our vision. It doesn't align with the Xbox goal. What would you say that? Right? Xbox makes more money than ever. Jim Ryan has said the console gamers aren't enough. Sure, but he didn't say he's not losing anything with the console though. That's where you gotta understand, JD Gamer. Jim Ryan did not say that they're hurting because of Xbox or PlayStation consoles. They're clearly not. Well, you're clearly seeing from the screen, PlayStation console is not hurting them.
Yeah.
Right?
And the fact, Porter Rock, and the fact that they're not realizing that Sony is able to leverage their gaming division and make money off of their movie and their music and all the other stuff that comes directly from video games. So while Jim Ryan said that that the console isn't enough, sure, but these consoles, which comes with all these IPs, they're making all these movies, TV shows, and all of these things are highly rated. They're making money hand over fist.
Yeah, but what I think
it's a collective.
But what I think he's talking about is trying to get more users, which is true, right? If Sony wants to gain huge amount of users, right? You already see they throwing games on PC, right? They're releasing 4K beta, so clearly Sony is deep into cloud gaming. And this is what I said. They're diversifying, right? So this is what I said about Microsoft. This is why I always said Microsoft. They went too hard at the same time across everything. Sony's peace partner. If you notice, they're making the same similar decisions as Microsoft. They're just more strategic. They're just not all in at the one shot. The console's the priority. As far as PC gaming, they're giving it time and be like, hey, we're going to throw our games on there. But they clearly don't want day and date at the same time because that's a challenge for developers. But that doesn't mean that they're still not going to take advantage of PC sales. And you saw how slow to the punch they are with cloud gaming, but they're still doing it. Now they have a beta for 4 games, right? So when Jim Ryan said that, console gamers are enough, and he did not say console gamers are enough, he said he's just surprised. The interview he's saying he just wished console gaming was bigger. It's just like books and TVs, right? Okay, but that doesn't mean he wants to get rid of console. Like, why would you get rid of plus 35% hardware revenue? Right? It's Microsoft that's hurting hardware revenue. Again, look at the screen. Hardware revenue, negative 13 for Xbox. For PlayStation, 35% positive. Sure, Sony could say we need more users, but that doesn't mean you eliminate the console when it's making you money. PlayStation hardware revenue is making them money, and it's also helping them get game sales, subscription sales, whatever. So hardware is not a problem for PlayStation. It's actually a plus. That doesn't mean that they won't dive into other things. The problem for Xbox is hardware is a problem. Negative 13 is bad. You cannot tell me that that's good, JD. No way you can convince me a hardware losing you money is okay. It is not okay. That negative 13 is a problem. And that's the quarter before, it was negative 33. Problem. And before that, negative 13. It's been negative for the last 3 quarters. Microsoft will figure that out. One way or another, they're going to make that negative into a positive. The question is how? Do they come with a Nintendo approach? Moderate, good enough hardware that's cheaper to build, cheaper to revise to get to profit? Or are they strategizing what King Thrash is saying? You can't get negative hardware if you don't make hardware at all. Right? You can't report negative hardware revenue when you're not even involved in hardware anymore. You completely eliminated that negative factor. That's what you got to ask yourselves. Hardware is a problem for Microsoft. It is an issue. They're negative. They are losing money. That is the portion of their business they are losing money in. And they're going to figure out a way not to lose it. Xbox community need to have the conversation of what strategies Microsoft cooking up to get that number into a positive or to completely eliminate that negative issue. They're going to figure out something. They're just not simply going to perpetually deal with negative revenue forever. That does not make sense for any business. They're not going to do it. They're going to figure out a way. One way or another, something's going to happen with the hardware. They're going to go into a direction that's going to get that into a positive. That's the question that Xbox community be looking into, because it's going to impact you console gamers, and you may not like it. You may not like Microsoft's answer of a moderate console that's just value, because you guys want the performance, you want the graphics, you want Xbox console to be the best place to play console games. But if Microsoft doesn't give you that console, then what do? Do you jump to PC? Maybe that's your only choice. What do we got here? J-Dub's muted. He's doing something. He's talking to Donnie D right now. He's trying to get Donnie D back on Xbox. Hey, J-Dub, we don't want Donnie D back on Xbox. Oh man, he's on an important phone call and stuff like that. But anyway, listen, the screen does not lie. The screen's not lying. These numbers, shout out to Z, men lie, women lie.
Women lie.
Numbers don't lie. You look at the numbers. If you were to look at one item on this list and say one of these things is doing their own thing, one of these things is not the same, which is the one thing that is not the same on this list? And it's Xbox hardware. That is the problem statement right there. Xbox hardware is a problem for Microsoft. It's not being sold enough, and they are losing money on it. So they got to figure out how to fix that. How they fix that, we don't know. But I can tell you one thing. You guys on the Xbox side are not having that conversation for whatever reason. It boggles my mind. Only Jez, right? Because you showed the tweet. Jez is probably the closest one. And I'm showing on the screen, it says, new from me. PlayStation won the console war, which obviously we could have been said that. Will Xbox let them win the cloud gaming war too? Now he's concerned about the cloud gaming war, which is interesting, right? Because that should be Xbox bread and butter at this point. But somehow, Sony's pushing 4K cloud streaming already as a beta test with a planned release at the end of the year or early next year for everybody. Now, I'm not hyping cloud gaming. I told you it's whatever. I don't really care about that. I'm just stating the reality. You know, because even, I'll be honest, Sony has been quiet about cloud gaming. We haven't talked about it much. And then out of the blue, hey, we're pushing 4K cloud gaming. And it's like, I'm like, what the hell? When did this happen? Now, I'm not saying, oh, I'm hyping it, whatever. I don't really care. I don't even care to try it. Don't really care about it. It's not just something I care about. But you Xbox gamers, y'all been all in this cloud train. Microsoft still does cloud gaming at 1080p, right?
Oh, no, 720p. Some games 1080p.
Look at that. And PlayStation just out of the blue, Trump. And you guys have Azure servers. That's literally your shit. With the Blades or whatever. But hey, you guys gotta have some real conversation. I don't know why you guys are worried about Final Fantasy 16. And trying to decide if Square Enix is truly like, yo, it blows my mind. Like, yo, I'm seeing a podcast. Yo, Sony announced 4K for their cloud. You got these numbers where Sony's just beating the crap. These Xbox numbers are low as hell, but they want to talk about Final Fantasy 16 numbers. I'm like, that's a game that's not even on Xbox. Listen, Final Fantasy 16 is not going to impact Xbox. This is impactful. Xbox hardware negative 13%? You got to ask yourself, what the hell's going on? Seeing Sony announce 4K beta for their streaming when you guys were the ones hyping cloud? You got to ask yourself, like, yo, bro, I'm still playing at 720p cloud streaming. What the hell's going on here? But you guys, for whatever reason, are not having that conversation. I don't know.
At least Jez Corden is.
Yeah, but he might get hate from that. He might get hate from that, which you guys shouldn't be hating on him. You guys should honestly be like, all right, well, yo, you know what, Jazz? You right, because I'm playing, like, we've been talking shit about Sony's a dinosaur, Sony don't know nothing, blah, 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 the future's cloud streaming is great, and then all of a sudden you wake up one day, Sony's like, yo, we're going to push 4K gaming on cloud. Here's the beta, try it out. And you're like looking at Microsoft like...
Yep. Now Microsoft is behind. In a space that they claim that they were number one in for the last 3, 4, 5 years.
Can you at least get 1440p cloud streaming? Like, bro. Like, what? You see? But y'all not having that conversation. The conversations are going to have, I guarantee the conversation of the week is going to be PlayStation VR 2. Y'all not going to talk about how Xbox technically is falling behind in cloud, premium services. Your hardware is once again selling like nothing. These are things that I think Xbox gamers will focus on because that's really going to impact y'all. But nah, y'all want to focus on VR2 and FS16. We'll see where that gets you. Yep. I'm just saying. Like I said in the beginning, Puerto Rock, they were too focused on PlayStation, trying to get back at PlayStation guys. Their console basically dead. Their service has been outdone. So there is no area where Xbox or anything in gaming where Microsoft is excelling in, and that's the problem. All right, bro. I think we hit it. I think we hit some good topics today, man. I think we had a good, honest conversation, right? To wrap things up, before let Jay do his shout out, so you can find them, so you can make that money on Twitter. I signed up for Twitter Blue. That's it. It's happening.
There we go.
That's it. That's
money,
it.
Man.
It's time for me to pimp these concubines. You know what I'm saying? They're the ones that come into my thing the most. So you know what? I'm gonna make money off them. I'm gonna be pimping concubines on Twitter. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? In fact, I'm gonna go on my profile and I'm gonna unblock all the others.
Everybody. Yep.
Everybody. That's it. I'm gonna launch. You know what I'm saying? It's time to me to be pimp of the year. I'm gonna walk with my fish tank boots. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have my pimp game on Twitter. It's time to pimp these concubines. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have fish swimming in my boots. It's time to pimp. You know what I'm saying? But hey, just to wrap things up, you know what I'm saying? Hey guys, when you see stuff like this, they're trying to downplay PlayStation as if it's bringing down Sony. Man, this is the facts right here. This is the facts. 35% hardware, 17% positive network services. Total gaming revenue went up 33%. And this quarter, they broke PlayStation records in revenue. You You know, with 5.36 billion in sales, they're making their stuff is off the chart, bro. It's PlayStation's just absolutely just killing it, right? So that's just how it is. That's the facts. That's the truth. That's just reality. Don't let these dudes try to sidestep you with some weird Jedi man trick bullshit about FS16 or VR2. Those numbers don't lie. If they're gonna have the true conversation, it's Xbox side right now that's hurting. They're the ones that's in the pickle that they gotta figure stuff out. All right, JD Gamer, he says, as a businessman, who would you rather be, McDonald's or Wolfgang Puck? Because we know who makes more money and satisfies more customers. Well, in terms of PlayStation, that would be PlayStation. PlayStation. Now, don't confuse Microsoft and Sony. Two different metrics. That's one thing you Xbox dudes. You guys confuse a parameter. If you want to say Microsoft makes more money than Sony, true. But I don't care about Microsoft Office. I don't care about the battle of Azure and Office versus the battle of cameras and TVs. I don't care. Sony has a bank. Sony has a TV division. They have a movie division. All those things make money. Microsoft has Azure, which is huge revenue. They have productivity. They have defense contracts with the military and the Department of Defense. That's where they make their big trillion. That doesn't mean shit to me as a gamer. I look specifically as a gaming aspect. I don't care if Sony shuts down their movie studios. Oh well, I don't care. I don't even play on a Sony TV. I play on a Samsung. Really, the only products that I got that's PlayStation and Sony is literally their PlayStation line. I don't really care about their speakers or their cameras or their phones or their headsets. You know, my shit is Bose. I bought a Bose headsets and stuff like that. Earbuds is by Apple, and I'm thinking of getting another not Bose, Beats. I think I'm getting Beats. I really don't get nothing Sony much in terms of anything, not even speakers or stereo. I'm not saying they're bad quality. I just don't really care, right? And when I look for a TV, I don't even look in the Sony direction. I primarily look at Samsung or LG, or on that side of the house, right? That's really on the side of the house I preference, right? But as far as a gamer, it's Xbox and PlayStation is killing it, right? They're making them more money and they're satisfying more customers. I mean, that's literally what this means, bro. When you want to ask yourself who's selling more and who's satisfying more, this is telling you the story right here. This is like literally, there's a reason why these numbers are like that. Okay? There's a reason why Xbox hardware is down 13% because a lot of people don't want to buy it, and Microsoft's losing money on it. That's just the facts. All right. But anyway, yo, J-Dub, man, let them know where they can find you.
Hey, I was gonna say y'all can find me on YouTube, but now that I'm making so much money hand over fist on Twitter, I want you guys to go to my Twitter at JDubCity16, where I keep you guys laughing with the gifs and the memes. You know what I mean?
Oh shit! My man said, you know what? I screwed my YouTube account. I'm with the X. Now we can do this with Elon Musk. I'm gonna be on X Fan Fest with Elon Musk.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna wish Elon Musk a happy Father's Day.
Facts. Hey, that good brother Elon, he brought me back from the dead. He brought back my old Twitter account from the dead.
And he giving you money.
And he paying me now? Oh man,
that's
you ain't
it.
seen shit yet.
We need an Elon Musk Fan Fest. You know what I'm saying?
Salute to that brother. Elon for president.
That's it. Yo, Elon, can you go buy Xbox? Like you bought Twitter? I think he could fix Xbox. I think Elon could do it, man. Let him buy Xbox. He could fix this. You know what I'm saying? Oh, anyway, hey, this is your boy PorterRock77. You're for his YouTube streets, of course. The podcast every Tuesday, 60 frames no lag. 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 5:30 p.m. Pacific. Hope you enjoyed the show. Thank you so much for the love, for the likes, for the super chats, for the memberships. I truly appreciate it. Like I said, I truly appreciate you guys rocking out. Everybody, Xbox, PlayStation, all you guys, whether you hate my channel, love my channel. But if you are here and you are talking like my boy Aaron or my boy JD Gamer, as long as you are enjoying the conversation, even if you're just trolling, be respectful though. Don't make it personal. Talk shit on plastic all you want. Antagonize, troll, have fun. But as long as you're here and you are enjoying it. If you find what's happening fun, whether you're an Aaron who's trolling or you're JD Gamer asking the hard questions, across the board, that's what it's about. Just don't attack each other. There's no reason that each of you should be attacking each other. Don't attack each other. Just have fun. Attack the plastic. Talk your shit. But at the end of the day, you came here, you're having fun, you enjoyed it, and I hope I made your night more enjoyable. If you're at work and this helped you out, hey, that's what I'm here for. And J-Dub, thank you so much. Antagonizer in chief, he came through. You know what I'm saying? Made this enjoyable. You understand what I'm saying? My man out there said, hey, I need you to drop 100. They drop 100. I'm like, what the hell? Like, yo, this dude is crazy, bro. These rich people are crazy, bro. Rich people, I don't know what it is, bro. Y'all unique. Rich people are a unique breed. Y'all different. Y'all built different. Anyway, we're out of here, man. You know, say keep it gaming to my friends and family. Peace.